it foggy outside. All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yo.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman. Hack, how the hell's it going today?
What up, boys? I'm hating this weather.
What?
Dude, cold hurts body.
Oh.
It just, dude, rain, cold, forget it. My whole body's aching.
Oh.
That's just how the older you get.
You're feeling your wrestling days here, okay, with some of this fall weather.
But it's also just a regular old guy feels like that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I was just talking to your neighbor outside, and she was loving the fall, so there you go.
Well, it's actually nice out right now. It's still probably like around 60 right now, but in the morning it's
going to get way worse.
It's about 45. Wait till it's about 20 out, Hack. You're going to be needing some hot tea
long
pants.
underwear.
Long johns.
Yeah, with the trap door in the back. Oh,
Yeah, who farted?
Yeah, you definitely need that after last week. I know, guys, we all watched the NFL this past weekend. The Eagles, Sirianni, Hack, I got to ask you about this guy. You've been watching the Eagles a lot longer than me. Where does he rank for you in terms of Eagles head coaches that you just don't like?
man, I mean, I don't hate the guy, dude. Listen, I go back to Rich Kotite days, so
Yeah.
Right.
we hated some.
It's been a lot worse as a team.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. The guy's just an idiot. Just shut up, dude. Just shut your mouth. That's it. That's all he has to do is shut his mouth. Whether it's in interviews where Bill Belichick would answer it with no or yes, he goes on for like 3 minutes on every freaking question.
He talks about the high school football coach and all that.
He's growing a plant, freaking like, dude, it's just diarrhea of the mouth, that guy. And then you can't yell at your own fans.
No.
You can't point in the stadium and yell at somebody that is calling for your firing during halftime, or when they're running out, going to run back through the tunnel for halftime.
Yeah, and the fans deserve to boo at that point, too. I mean, the Eagles were playing horrible at halftime. You just gave up that blocked field goal. The game was tied, and the Browns were horrible. This Browns team is horrible. The Eagles,
offense.
it's just such a bad offense, that Browns team. So it's like, for the Eagles to play down to them like that, I understand why people who paid their hard-earned money for season tickets would be booing. You know?
And I don't know if you saw the Reddit post about the guy who wrote in claiming he was the fan that was going back and forth with Sirianni. Like, even if it's lighthearted, like you guys like just being like, yo, run the ball, and then Sirianni coming back and being like, oh, we ran the ball, like coming back at a fan, even if it's that, like, you shouldn't even be engaging in that. You're the head coach of $1 billion organization.
Multi-billion.
You shouldn't even be hearing that on this show at any mind.
No.
Like, you are basically the CEO on the field of $1 billion corporation. You just have to be better than that.
Yeah, your focus has to be on that game and those guys in it and the next play and the situations there, not the fans in the crowd.
You can't win.
Right.
It's a lose-lose. You got to stay away. Everybody listen to me. There's situations in life. There's lose-loses, win-lose, and a lose-win. That's all there is. If it's a lose-lose, you got to stay away from it. You just have to.
Ds.
Okay. No.
The 5 Ds of dodgeball?
It's just this. It's basic.
Right.
Well, we talk about it when it comes to wrestling and matches and what, like, it's a lose-lose situation.
And how about after the game, too? I mean, look, I understand your kids probably haven't seen you all day, maybe even the day before.
Who cares?
You don't care about him bringing the kids up for the press conference?
Who cares?
I didn't like that he brought
Who cares if you ain't seen... You're one of 32 people on the planet.
Right.
Dude, we have 100 senators.
Yeah, it's a tougher job to get than a U.S. senator.
You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yes.
It's a freaking... Dude, you're one of 32 people on the planet. You shouldn't be bringing your kids in a press conference ever.
I thought he brought them up there as like a human shield to deflect some of the,
So did everybody else.
Yeah, I thought that it was just.
But they've been up there before. It's not
But
the
that
first
was like
time.
after like the NFC Championship win and all that other
Yeah.
stuff, which is fine.
Right, they got the T-shirt on. The
Not
hat
after
on.
beating the worst team in the league by 4 points.
Right.
Right.
All right, your
You know,
def-
you know
your
you're
defense
going to
played
get
well.
some tough questions, so you're trying to bring your kids in there so you don't get the tough questions, so you really can't. It's just not a good
Dude,
look.
I honestly don't even know. I think he might even be totally oblivious to that fact. Or if he really thought about it, he wouldn't have done it. When you think Dom would say, "Yo, dude, you sure you want to bring your kids into this free?" I mean, that's what Dom's for, right?
He should
Dude,
be.
and their head of public relations,
Yeah, I'd be like,
Bob
"Nah,
Lang.
dude, not the kids today."
Not a good look.
Yeah.
You know.
Right, you would, and coming to the shaving his head. That guy's going through. He's
He
going
is.
through it.
He's
Yeah.
crashing out.
And
He's
like,
crashing
and
out.
with his answer on like the radio about wanting to give his kids like a great experience and love football as much as him, it's like there's so many other ways that you can do that besides bringing them in the press conference.
I'm sure
Absolutely.
they're
That's
in
a
the
great
facility.
I'm sure they're on the practice field hanging out with the players. And
Right.
like, do you think they even want to be in front of the kid? Like, it's just
Or even concept.
it's just useless. It's just stupid.
No,
his
it-
answer was stupid, and why he defended it, and it's
It's
just
stupid. He's stupid.
and then he
stupid,
apologized the next day too. I mean, it's like,
Well, yeah, 'cause
I'm
Lurie
sure
was
the owner
like,
told him.
well, then he said he didn't talk to Lurie. He said,
Well,
yeah.
okay.
of course.
Just like Aaron Rodgers had nothing to do with that coach's firing.
Oh well.
Can
yeah.
you believe if Aaron Rodgers wanted him there, you better believe he would be there.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's the bottom line. Think about it in the reverse psychology of it. You know what I'm saying? If Aaron wanted him there, he would have been there. So he definitely had to say he got cleared. That got cleared through him.
He may have not said, "Yo, fire the guy," but they probably asked him, and he was like, "I don't care."
right. No, I
You know,
agree.
like-
I agree totally. And then for them
Give me
to get-
Devontae Adams.
yeah, and then he got Adams after that Monday
Adams
Night
was in the
loss.
facility 10 minutes after the trade got announced.
All right, I'll trade Salah for Devontae Adams. Fire the coach, and we got to trade for Devontae.
I don't think that team's going anywhere though. Still,
That's
the
great.
Jets.
Hey, they got the defense.
They do, but I still don't
I mean,
see
they would
it.
have won that game if the kicker made it any field goal. What, he missed
Yeah.
3 field goals?
Yeah.
I know 7 make the playoffs, so the Jets still could have a chance to make it. Eagles are still outside. Eagles are outside the playoffs right now, 3-2. You know, so we'll
And
see.
Buffalo picking up what's his name.
Cooper.
It hurts that division also for the Jets too.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
If the Jets stay healthy, they're going to be in the AFC Championship.
I would think so too.
I don't think so.
I got dude. That's
right,
Aaron
okay.
Rodgers, dude. You got the best quarterback, and
He hasn't looked like Rodgers though.
yeah, but you
He's
got to
40.
understand something. He's coming off of an
Gotta
injury. Hasn't
understand.
been there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear it, man. Football, it's a long season. We always say season doesn't start till Thanksgiving, so you know a lot of these opinions, things are going to generate. The teams are going to build, and we'll see where they're at come Thanksgiving time over the next month.
Question is, are the Eagles going to beat the Giants this week? I'm not sure. Is my answer. I am just not sure.
There's no way for me to be confident.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I can't
I can't
confidently
even
say.
worry about that until Sunday at 1 o'clock.
I think they just lost their starting safety. I think might have went
They're
down.
starting left tackle, Andrew Thomas. I mean, maybe their safety, but
Yeah, I heard about that guy,
But their
too.
starting left tackle went down. But
Well, it doesn't matter. Our defensive line blows.
Well, and we're also missing our starting left tackle. Mailata's going to be out for a little bit. Goddard might not play.
What's his name? Thompson.
Thomas.
The guy that's replacing Milana.
Oh, Fred Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah,
Come on, Fred.
the guy from the Green Mile, Michael Clark Duncan. He's huge. Freaking yeah.
Played
So I
great
mean,
the first week. He played great coming in for Lane when he went down. He played great. Was it the New Orleans game?
yeah, New Orleans game
Then
when
he
Lane
played
went
good.
down, and then he played crappy against
Yeah.
Tampa.
Right.
But that's Todd Bowles sending all these different blitzes your way. I mean, who knows?
That guy came off the couch too, literally, didn't he? Fred
Kinda.
Thompson's got-
He's
yeah.
been like bouncing around like practice squad and shit like that.
Yeah,
so.
we'll see. I mean, look, this Eagles team, it's a frustrating watch. I mean, that game Sunday was
It
a
is.
frustrating watch. It was not fun. Not fun football. It was sloppy, and
can't-
the Browns were bad. It was
But
just
our
bad.
defense didn't give up a touchdown.
No.
So you have to kind of look at that as a win inside the shitty win. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
That's
but
true.
nobody gives up touchdowns to the Browns. I mean, so it's
Again,
hard for me.
first
It's
time
hard
this
for me.
year.
Yeah.
No, anybody's been held to no touchdowns in a game.
Yeah, no,
It just doesn't happen often in an NFL game.
you're absolutely right, Hack. I mean, it was
Yeah.
impressive effort by the defense. Offense still has to get some stuff in line, and Hurts wasn't his best outing, even though he didn't turn the ball
Jalen and
over.
Jordan got to start playing freaking better. All right, they had a couple tackles each and a half a sack or whatever, but those dudes have got to start playing better.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't get... Wait a minute, didn't their backup center go down in the first quarter, and then the third string center came out, and we still couldn't abuse that guy?
Yeah. No, it wasn't the best effort from that front line. I know Jordan Davis and
it had like 3 tackles apiece. I don't care.
We'll
They
see.
did nothing.
These are Hack's targets all year. I know he's been.
Dude, that's all I watch is the defensive line.
Well,
dude.
that's where the game is.
I have to watch those two.
That's where the game
That's
is.
where I start my watch in offense and defensive
I
line
know,
on
but
both
you
sides
see
of the
so
ball.
much more than me. You call penalties that are on the other side of the field that I'm not even watching. I don't know. He'd be a great ref, or an umpire, whatever you want to call it. No, the umpire in a football game. I'm not saying an umpire in a
the
baseball
white
game.
hat guy.
Yeah. But yes, next thing I'm going to start doing is once I give up on these two because they're the shits, then I'm just going to watch Jalen's read. I want to see what his head does every freaking play, where his eyes are going. And how come we have had 3 offensive coordinators now and we still don't throw the ball in the middle of the field?
Because
What
it's
is
Nick's
wrong with
offense.
Jalen?
I think it's Nick's offense
Because
and
it's
not
Nick's
coordinators.
offense.
No.
It's either
Yes, I do.
Jalen threw the ball all over the middle of the field in 2022 when we went to the
No,
Super
he
Bowl.
doesn't.
Don't
He
hear
ranks,
it.
he ranks 28th to 30th the past 3 years in throwing the ball over the middle of the field. It's
Yep.
either, but
Heard that
there's
stat.
it's a common denominator. It's Sirianni and it's Hurts, and it's one of the two. I don't know which one it is. It's either it's Sirianni's offense or it's they don't believe that Jalen can do it. That's why they don't put Jalen under center, because Kellen Moore ran 40% under center with the Dallas Cowboys.
True that.
And we've ran 8% under. I think it's even less. I think it might be like 4% under center with the Eagles. And it's either Jalen or Sirianni.
No,
and I'm
it's Jalen.
starting to think it's Jalen, but I don't know. We have to take out one of the two in order to find out.
We have maybe the best wide receiver with a yak. Why don't we throw over to him on a slant in at least 4 or 5 times a game to Brown? It's a guaranteed 7 yards and maybe break it for the rest of it.
I love watching
You
him.
can't stop that play.
And he's so good at making cutbacks. He's so good at doing that
And shielding
misdirection.
the guy from the ball. He's boxing out at the same time the ball's coming to him. We should be running that play 4 or 5 times a
You
game.
can stop that play. You put a linebacker in front of it. Stop the play.
Well, I haven't seen it stopped. Whenever we've used it, it always works.
It's not that easy.
It's just
Yeah,
tough.
it is.
It's just
No, it's
tough
not.
because
Yeah,
I
it is.
think we've all come. This is the best offensive
A
personnel.
line, and you just said
I
a
think-
linebacker?
I think this is the
Dude better be
best.
pretty fast.
The best offensive personnel that I think any of us have ever seen for any Eagles team. That's including you, Hack, as
Yeah,
You know,
probably yes.
Weapons.
and it's
Yeah.
painful to watch them trying
I
to
know.
matriculate the ball down the
I know.
field. It's,
I know.
It's tough right now.
It is tough right now. Hopefully they turn things together. I know I'm sure Saquon's going to have a chip on his shoulder this weekend going up there in MetLife.
And hopefully those boys will step up for him, because you know they want him to get that win against.
Yeah.
Well, and you know they're going to be hating our running back up there because he went to. They loved him. You know what I mean? But it's a Giants Eagles thing. You know what I mean? So is he going to get 50 boo, 50 cheer?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think they have a resentment towards him. It's more the organization. for
He
letting
has
him
a
go.
resentment towards the organization.
Yes, but I think
Yeah.
I think the fans have a resentment towards the management there for letting him go, and not so much the player himself.
But I also think that
Can't boo manager.
it's going to be a little bit more of a boo because he went to a rival in the Eagles. If he went to,
To San Diego.
Chicago, or
Somebody
whatever.
they see maybe once
Once a
every
year.
4 or 5
Right,
years.
if he went to
or so.
Chicago, San Diego, whatever, it would be probably 90% cheers, where this might only be a 60% or 50-50.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because they'd be like, dude, really? A rival?
Yeah.
That might sting him a little bit.
Yeah, but we're the only ones paying $12 million a year. I think that's what we pay him, right?
Something around that. Yeah, he's one of the highest paid backs in the league. So.
Right.
We'll see. Definitely not the best, even though we won. So we'll see where the Eagles end up next week. And
Felt like a loss.
it felt
Dude,
like
how
a
many
loss.
times did he run the ball against Cleveland? 6 or 7?
More than that.
Was it?
I think it was more runs than that, but
Yeah.
still, it wasn't enough. I mean, it wasn't. You got to give Saquon. To me, Saquon needs the ball at least 15 carries a game every game. Between that and the passes, I mean, you get him 20 touches a game. You got to get him 20 touches. That should be the number that they work to.
And dude, how do we blow? We have 2 weeks off, and we come out and still don't score. 2 weeks off. I know. Hey, Cleveland's got a pretty decent defense.
Their defense is very good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But still. I mean, we scored like a minute or so into the second quarter. But, dude, you have to score in the first freaking... Listen, that's how we won games. We held you off in the first, then we totally outscored you in the second, and we played from ahead, like when we had 60 sacks just by our defensive linemen. The year that we had 70 sacks, you know what I mean? Get ahead, go after the quarterback.
Yeah, and that makes your corners play better, and it's a lot easier.
Yeah, we didn't score again in the first quarter, so take a shot.
Yeah, take a shot.
We're going to be taking shots for our first quarter non-scores for the rest of the season, so we'll see what that goes.
Oh, yeah, really?
So, guys, I know this past weekend we all watched AEW Wrestledream. This came from the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington. They actually did a pretty good house there. They had 8,000 some fans in attendance, and it was up.
You sure it wasn't from Seattle? That's what MJF said.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
I've done that, just so you know.
Wait, on purpose or for heat?
No, I screwed up.
Oh, okay. Because I couldn't tell if he screwed up or he did it for heat.
Yeah, I know. I said something, and Dream was like, yo, dude, we're not in Detroit. I've spelled beer, B-E-R, on the microphone. I had the whole locker room cracking up and falling down laughing on that one. I was like, what did I do? Everybody made fun of me on that one.
So their attendance, I know attendance for them has been an issue over the past bunch of months, but pretty nice house there, and it was up year over year, so that's a good sign for the company. And I thought this crowd was pretty lively and into the show all the way throughout, so I thought it was a really good crowd there.
What is that? Do you know what that building's regularly used for?
No, I'm not really sure if it's a college arena or I'm not really sure what goes on in Tacoma, Washington, but
I think they do. That's the Ice Capades arena there.
oh, it's the Ice Capades.
Blades of Glory?
Do people even know that what Ice Capades even are? Is that a thing anymore?
I don't know if it is.
I don't think it is either. It was huge when I was a kid.
The show started off with Jay White and Adam Page. This was a really fun match as an opener. I when the card first came out, I was like, I wonder what they're going to open up this show with, and I had in my mind that they were going to open up with the Lucha match with Hologram and Mordos, because I was like, that'd be a really good opener. But rolling with this match as the opener, I thought they really delivered in this match. I thought the work was very snug. I really, really liked the limb work by Jay White. And now Jay White as a face, if you take a look at the story of this show and part of their booking, it's too many heels right now, so they got to heat up some faces. And Jay White picking up the victory in this match, I thought was smart booking for where they set up their champions. Jay White and that finish, man, that finish was money. I absolutely loved that finish. I thought him hitting that finisher with the buckshot, that was the standout of this match for me, and I really, really enjoyed it. Hack, what did you think of the match?
I liked it a lot. I also have great finish on there. I liked it. A couple different things. I saw like 3-4 different things in that match. Jay's got him in the corner and he does the chop punch. That was just something
new.
different. Yeah. I like that kind of stuff. I'm like, all right, Jay. All right, what else I got him to? Oh, the upside down spot in the corner when he's hanging upside down.
Like the tree of woe?
Yes.
Yeah, but wasn't he on the outside?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that was a different spot that you don't see. Fireman carry on the apron, blah. The leg spot, the leg lock thing that they did. What the heck does it say right here?
The leg lock.
The leg drag through the ropes.
Yes, that's something Jay White does with the dragon screw on the ropes.
I like that, and the ramp on the knee when he picked him up and
that was a nice spot.
That was a really good spot.
I like
on the side of the ramp. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the things that
and
I
it's sticking to the story in the match, which is right on the money. Which I thought they did perfect job the whole way through. Was sticking to the story on the match. I thought it started a little slow, but it really picked up and it had an awesome finish, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this one. I know, look, you gave Paige the big win in the pay-per-view the prior month, and then to have him lose here in the opener, I don't think it hurts him at all. I think,
dude, he's been around so long. He's like the Ricochet dude. You know what I'm saying? Even though Ricochet's in a different like air right now. You know what I mean? Because we'll talk about that later. But you can't hurt that kid.
right?
You know what I mean?
I don't think a loss hurt him, and I think it did help Jay White. Jay White needs to get re-pushed again if you're going to feature him as a face.
Well, he got a huge pop when they came back, too. So they're probably like, well, let's see if we can roll with this.
Yeah, and I think he's got a great look. Like, he's really lean. He's cut up, and he's got him and Juice. Juice is another guy with them. I would love if they push Juice.
Juice looked lean.
Juice looks really
Yeah, he
lean,
did.
and Juice has great facials and his second there.
He's hilarious.
Juice is amazing.
He pops me like every time I watch him.
Same. Like, I love the Bang Bang Gang. I'm a big fan of them, and I hope they get a run here as faces in AEW, because AEW certainly needs some faces out there. So I really enjoyed this match. I'm going to go 3.5 stars for it. That finish, like I said, was awesome. Absolutely awesome finish. Ollie, what do you give it?
Yeah, I'm going 3.75.
Okay, 3.75.
Yeah.
Hack, what do you give it?
For an opener, those guys, I got to give it a minimum 4.
Okay.
Just on the match, Ali, I agree with you that it was a little bit of a slow start, but it was like we talked about, a perfect match to turn Jay White into a baby.
Yeah.
It was a perfect opponent, perfect match in order to turn, because Hangman's such a heel right now.
Oh, yeah.
And he's doing such a good job at it, too.
Right,
Yes.
and it was,
those eyes, the crazy eyes,
And the mustache,
his face
everything.
And
It's
stuff.
like, it's perfect.
I'm sitting there watching the match. I'm like, dude, they're just turning Jay baby right here. Like, you could just hear the crowd going over it so much. I love the finish, and I love that they teased multiple finishes, but never actually did one until the finish.
Yeah.
Like, we see so many times where they actually do the finish and it's a false, and do the finish and it's a false. No, they teased it, went into something else, teased it, went into something
I have it
else.
on my notes, nice counters at the end, too.
Yeah,
They
right.
were-
They a bunch of times during there, because he took what's Jay's the sling blade, not the sling. Is it that's what his
I don't know
finisher?
the name of any of that crap.
I forget the...
Whatever,
I forget what it is.
whatever the hell it is.
Blade Runner.
Blade
Blade
Runner.
Runner.
That's it. Like, he caught him in that like 2 or 3 times, and then it was
But
out.
didn't actually hit it.
And I love how Hangman went to do the buckshot, and then Jay would like kind of walk out of the way, like do all that thing. It was
Not even walk, just stumble, maybe
out
not
of
even
the-
knowing what's going on. behind.
Or he's even getting closer to Hangman so he can't hit it. He's like,
Yeah.
I'll take your punches
Either way.
over taking
Great
the finish.
point.
yeah, that was
He
great.
did do. He went away to the back corner on the one. The next one he came at him. Good
Right.
stuff.
I thought it was a perfect opener for the show, because they didn't steal the show, but they did just enough to get people up and going. I give it 4 stars.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really good booking, and yeah, Paige losing clean. I thought that, we've seen a lot of interference, and one of the things, there's too much interference, I think, in wrestling, so I was happy to see a clean finish in this for Jay White.
Yep.
Up next on the show was the AEW Women's Title match between Willow Nightingale and champion Mariah May. Hack, you texted us this week about Mariah May. You are a big fan of hers, huh?
Oh, what was she wearing? The black and the white?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a cool outfit.
Yeah.
I just thought her outfit was cool. And dude, she's got great facials. That girl's on her way.
She is. And I
She's
thought
straight on her way.
I thought this match, her as champion, I think is hurt by the lack of Tony being there a little bit. This was the first time as a champion in a match that I thought that she really delivered to the champion status of being in there. And obviously Willow's one of my favorites in the business
Dude,
right
she
now.
sells titles all over the planet. Willow.
Oh, she was a New Japan
Yeah,
strong
she's on
champion and
titles
stuff.
there.
and-
She's on
and
MML
CMLL,
titles.
yeah.
Yes, dude.
Willow is just awesome.
She's getting better and better and better.
You can see it too with
Yeah.
every match. I was just gonna say she's like over these last couple months, it's better, and better.
Yeah, her confidence, you could see it in the ring with her performances, and I thought this match really delivered. I thought the work in this was very crisp.
Dude, Willow's chops.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I was like, oh,
Yeah, she was working her down, and,
dude.
and the
she
crowd was with
chopping
it.
the shit out of her.
Yeah, the crowd was with it. I think she has a good move set, and she has fire. When she fires up, she's got a great fire up too. A great comeback from her.
And she's really starting to figure out how to blend like the happy, like, I'm so positive person, but don't fuck with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like where it's coming together in the ring too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dude, she could be a heel here, a baby in Mexico, you know what I mean? And here a heel, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's going on in your head? You got to figure out how to set everything up. Like, and remember, hey, I'm the heel here. Hey, I'm the baby here.
Yeah.
I thought the match was very well done, but I thought they did themselves a disservice by working too fast. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but I thought they were working extremely fast. They weren't letting anything like.
Yeah, Mariah hasn't learned how to relax yet.
Yeah,
she hasn't learned how to.
They were like going from
breathe, lady,
right?
Let it breathe.
But you gotta also let the crowd feel something, like feel what you're doing. Like everything they did, I thought was awesome. But it was just one after another. They were just going too fast into the next thing, I thought. And they did themselves a disservice by not allowing the crowd to appreciate what they were doing.
That's an interesting point, Ty. I wonder, how long was this match? Did this match even go 10 minutes? It was
10
running
minutes,
around that?
52 seconds.
Okay, so it was a little quicker. You were saying maybe you gave them like 12 or so, let things breathe a
Maybe.
little bit.
I just thought they could have, after they did like a certain spot or something like that, like let the crowd react and sell and lean into the moment, and then you like let them feel the story that you're trying to tell. But it was just kind of like spot, okay, next one. They didn't give themselves a chance to.
Well, that's the problem in the back where you have to know when to knock out shit. You know what I'm saying? I would go there, like, sometimes I tell you, I'd show up at for Vince at 12 o'clock, and I'm here on like 7th match on Monday Night Raw or whatever it was. And then by 3 o'clock, like, not even on the damn thing. Then by 5 o'clock, I'm doing a dark match with John Cena's dad's like protege. You know what I'm saying? You have to know in your head what 12 minutes really is. You know what I mean? And it's very hard to know that. You got to have it in your... I mean, you got to ref. Like, if I'm going out there, I'm like, dude, I need to hear... like, if I have a home set up, you know what I'm saying? I know exactly what I need for my home, no matter how many moves it is. So I'm like, dude, I want to hear 9 minutes, or I want to hear 10 minutes, or I want to hear 7 minutes. You know what I mean? Because I know what I need to get in. And when you're being pushed on a pay-per-view like that for time, you work slower, not faster.
So basically you're saying if you're given X amount of time and you realize you're kind of going over it, just cut out spots.
Yeah, dude,
like
this
on the front.
Or you might want to change that. You might want to change that series into maybe. Well, let's do this series first, and if we have time to get to this,
okay.
Like the series will end up in the same outcome: the baby up or the heel up. But put the important ones in the front, and then the other ones if we can get to it.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
To it.
That's pretty interesting stuff there, Hack.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just something I caught.
And a couple different things I saw in the match was the ear bite.
I like that.
I love the ear biting, and I love the head on the knees when they're both in the lock,
yes.
too.
Yo, what about the leg lock? I never saw that leg lock
Indian,
before.
Indian
It took her a second to get it in. I'm like, she's screwing up.
But then she applied the pressure on it,
Well,
too.
I was sitting there. I was like, "Is this supposed to hurt?" And then she put her foot on the knee. I'm like, "Okay, now I get it."
Yeah, I like that. It had a little torque on there. And I did like their home section. So
did
did
I. I like the finish, too.
They did a Death Valley driver
Great finish.
into the corner for a 2 count. And then she took Mariah May up top. And then May countered with a super Hurricane Rana. That was a great counter, I thought. And then that set up the running knee. And then she's still using the Storm Zero for the finish. Obviously still alluding to Tony Storm, who will eventually be back, I'm sure, for revenge. But I thought this was a really, really fun match. I'm going 3.5 stars again for it. I thought the work in this was really crisp, and I really thought that this was Mariah May's best effort as champion. So
I'm going 3.75 again.
Okay. Hack, what are you giving it, man?
4.
4.
Yep, I agree. 4.
Wow. All right.
Very, very good match. Like
Yeah.
I said, I thought they did themselves a disservice. From what I saw, I thought they were going a little fast, but the match itself was awesome.
But to me, when I give it a 4, I give it a 4 because of that rating is coming off more than just the match that I watched. I put that in like, and I think about the other women's matches that I've seen lately and how horrible they have been.
Good point. Yeah,
and
good
how
point.
many spots the women are just I don't care if it's the chick with all the long hair and the band. It's just everybody's screwing up so much. You know what I mean? And there wasn't any like huge hitches in this.
No,
No, but to your point, Hack, I don't think they did anything crazy.
Don't have to.
That's my point. That's what we're saying. You know, that's how bad
Just
the
good
other
work.
women's matches have been. It's
Yeah.
like they didn't have to do anything crazy. They were crisp. They did, you know, very good, well-timed spots, and that's all you need.
Yeah, no, I thought so too. And look, I think both of them are improving, like you were saying. We're seeing week-to-week improvement from Willow and each big show. I mean,
And you can tell Mariah's feeling it. Like, as a
yeah.
heel out there, she's
yes.
Dude,
like,
her the way she works the crowd with her face and her
Her
expression.
facials are great.
Yeah, her facials
Wow.
are very good, and like even when she's like talking to the crowd as she's walking outside the ring, like
Disgust,
doing it,
yeah.
like little stuff like that. She's really
Well, it's
good
like
at that.
Tony. Tony had great facials. If she
Yeah.
didn't learn from Tony to do face, especially the way that now the business is going, you see WWE's going more to like that cinema
Cinematography,
shit. You know
yeah.
what I mean? She's right there. Maybe
Yeah.
she's like, "Yo, hire me, please, WWE."
Or
Well-
she's gonna try and get in a movie. Sooner or later, you know?
That should be no problem for somebody like her. Casting couch. Harvey. Oh wait, Harvey's in jail.
Jesus
Could be a little
Christ,
hard. Yeah.
she doesn't need it. Her talent alone can get it, man. She's got lots of talent.
Mr.
And the Harvey
PPV.
thing- and Harvey's Harvey Weinstein, who went to jail for the casting couch,
Yes,
basically.
we all know.
Yeah, I get it.
He's like, dude, here you ain't getting a spot in the movie.
There you go. Fuck them. We don't like her. TNT title match. Jack Perry taking on Shibata. So this match, you know, look.
this could have just not been on the
For
card.
who, for what?
Yeah, it's a for who for what. I mean, it was more. I mean, I'm almost more interested to talk about the finish, which I really liked, but also the post match, which honestly kind of reminded me of a very ECW-ish
I
thing.
actually do really like the finish, and that is the only thing I have good to say about the match.
And I
really.
put cheap finish.
Yo, I love that finish. So let's talk.
I put it was cheap
hate
to
the
me.
finish.
No,
Yeah.
I
I
like that
actually,
finish.
I actually like it.
I like that finish too because it really protects Shibata. I mean, he kind of looks like an idiot
It
for
d-
not letting go of the hold, but I
Yes,
mean,
that's my point.
Is that
I
what
have-
your
Dude,
point
it's
is?
Shane Douglas and me.
yeah, it's a good finish.
No, it's the shit.
No,
That's
I'm
a great finish. I don't know why you don't like it.
No, there's dude.
It's
there's
horrible.
no. The ref is counting right next to him in his face. There's no way Shibata doesn't hear the count or shouldn't see the ref counting. There's no way. That shit. You made
Man,
them all
it's
look
cheap.
stupid.
Yep.
You made them all look
I feel
stupid.
exactly the same way.
He's literally on his side. He's counting right in front of his face.
He knows
and
he ain't got the other guy pinned. I mean, come on. It's cheap. It's just cheap.
Yeah,
I like it as a finish. I'm a fan. I think it's
I
a
think
good.
there's a way to do it, but not like that. I don't.
I have to go back and watch to see where the ref was positioned because that's a good point.
Right
you
over-
mentioned.
right next to him.
But I liked it, and I thought the work in this match was just okay. Like this was a TV match to me. It wasn't bad or anything, but it kind of like you said, Hack, for who for what. It just to me there was no real story build up for this match. It was
None.
kind of just
Zero.
thrown together, and I really like Shibata. I'm so happy to
So
see
do
him,
I.
see him wrestle again. His work is super crisp. He's got great kicks, great strikes, and then you see Jack Perry. It's like, you know, again, like Jack Perry. If this guy was fighting him, he would destroy him. Like you're talking about an MMA guy here. Shibata's got an MMA background. I mean, he would just destroy Jack Perry. Something with Jack Perry's character, and especially now with how heel heavy they are, he's getting lost in the shuffle. Because when you look at all the guys they're bringing in, you got MVP's group, you got the Elite. And
Yeah, so
everything.
let's make one of our top baby faces a heel in the main event.
Well, I mean,
But he's kind of.
he was a heel already going into
Yeah,
that.
they love
was-
him. They hate his guts now, but
He was a heel. Well, we'll get to that. but
Yeah, we will.
We will. But,
But Jack's getting put in the hook category for me. Like they're pushing him as like this huge, untouchable badass.
and
well,
he's
they're not
tiny.
really. He was selling a lot in this match. He's not.
It was a strong match.
Yeah.
The match was more a Japanese match than an American match to me.
That's all. That's a good point because I'm sitting here looking at my note and the way Shibata was shrugging everything off that Perry was doing, I was sitting there thinking to myself, "There's no way Shibata can lose this match the way that he's shrugging off everything Jack does." Now it ends up being like a fuck finish where Jack doesn't actually beat him, but. And I guess maybe they're going to keep that going, but like the way they were making kind of, to your point, he wasn't looking like a badass, but he acts like a badass because Shibata was shrugging everything he did off. He's like, "No, come hit me again."
he
No,
almost didn't
come
sell
hit me
anything
again."
until he got hit with that DD. Oh, another one? Jesus Christ!
And there's your fart of the week.
There's your
Provided-
fart of the week.
That's what it is. You're part of the week. I love it.
And that's brought to you by Dennis Tequila.
Yeah.
and dude wipes.
Yeah.
That's my shout out to McAfee. McAfee.
So, yeah, Shibata, to your point, Ty, he really wasn't selling much until
Anything, which
until
was
the
kinda-
DDT on the
right.
floor.
Yeah.
And then that comes back into the finish where they go. He hits a Death Valley driver, and then Shibata got him in the sleeper, and then just dropped back, and then Perry stacks him, and then he gets the pin there to retain. How many minutes did this go,
I
Ollie?
hated that.
Well, this was short.
9 minutes, 20 seconds.
Yeah, this was a little short. I mean, I didn't really care for this all that much. I think if I had to give this a star rating, I'm going to go like 2.5 for this. It wasn't bad, but it just was kind of there. So, it's not anything. I'm not 2.5.
Work rate, it's higher than that to me, but it's totally for who, for what. I
Yeah.
don't care.
What do you give it?
One
Alex?
star.
1 star.
I'm not invested.
Yeah, like I'm saying, who for what? It doesn't like I
all right.
have
I
no
hear you.
interest in seeing this match on the pay per view.
Yeah, Hack. What do you give it, bud?
I just all right.
Don't overthink it, Hack. Don't overthink it.
3.5.
3.5.
4.
Okay.
You overthought it.
Wait, 3.5 or 4? Which one?
4.
4. He's going 4 for this.
The match wasn't bad.
No, I know it wasn't bad, but again, to me, for who for
That's
what?
as good as the opener, and that's as good as Mariah May Willow.
No, but I'm sticking with my 4 anyway.
All right, he's
Yeah,
sticking
you're
with
pathetic.
it. Ty, what do you give it?
1.
1. He gives it a 1.
I just hated the finish a lot.
Oh, dude. So did I.
I hated the finish
Cheap.
a
So-
I
lot.
got big cheap and capital.
So now for the post match. Perry had the belt all ready to hit, and then Daniel Garcia came in for the save. So it kind of looks like maybe you're setting up Garcia and Perry, and then you had a stare down. But then MJF returned to a big pop to interrupt. MJF filming Happy Gilmore 2, by the way. I don't know if you guys heard that. Did you know
Yeah.
that? Hack?
Yeah, when he said that he's done 2 movies, I had to go to those guys because I didn't know. I'm like, is he lying right there?
Yeah.
No, he's a Happy Gilmore too, but he was also doing. He's probably done that one, but he's in another movie, isn't he?
I think he is too. Yeah. So that's why he's been away
But I
for a
forget
while.
the name of that one.
No, good for him, dude.
Yeah, no,
that's
it's-
great for him and great for the business.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, those are big roles. And Sandler seemed to always involve wrestlers in his movies. I know The Longest Yard had like so
Oh,
many
100%.
wrestlers in
I
there.
mean,
The whole locker room.
And
Yeah.
if you're gonna pick one guy, I mean, one wrestler that can act,
Pretty good.
it's MJ.
Pretty good pick. Pretty good
Yeah,
pick.
it's MJF.
So then MJF was kind of hating on. He was talking about hating on the idea of a bidding war and stuff and everything.
The Seattle
Yeah.
Supersonics, and then he realized they were in Tacoma, and
Yes.
he's like, F all you, or
Dude,
whatever.
but
he
what
said.
about him saying, "Oh, thank you for telling me my ring was at a
Because
pawn
remember,
shop in Chicago?"
remember
In
his ring
Buffalo.
got stolen?
His ring actually got
Oh,
stolen.
from the locker room.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why the
I
one match.
kinda do remember
the
that
one
now.
match he had. It was the brass. It was like the brass knuckles, and it wasn't the ring. The last time we saw him, I don't know if you remember that, but we were like, "Wait, he's got
No,
brass knuckles."
yeah, okay, yeah, I remember the knuckles.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like MGF. I
No, I know, but he usually uses the ring. That's why we were all like, "Wait, why is he using the brass knuckles?" Because
Okay.
the ring actually got stolen,
Yeah,
and then
I
now he
remember
brought
that
this
now.
up.
So he loaded up the Dynamite Diamond ring again, and then
The fake dynamite diamond.
it's the new one now. It's the
I
replacement.
guarantee it's not the same one.
No,
folks.
it's probably the
No.
replacement. But and then out came Adam Cole to make his return, and then
Baby.
MJF ran out of the ring, and then Cole chased him off, and then helped Garcia up. So we had a couple of returns there. Adam Cole's back in the fold.
Gosh, what? All right, I get Cole and MJF have a relationship, and I'm not exactly 100% sure how else you would bring back Adam Cole, but doesn't necessarily make sense to me. Do you kind
None
of
of
feel
it.
the same way?
None of it makes any sense with the whole Devil storyline and everything that went on there. And now Adam Cole turned on him, and yet he's coming back as the baby, and MJF is the heel. None of this makes any
To
sense.
save Garcia.
To save
like-
Garcia. Look, I think you just
And I
have
get
to
it.
chalk
That's
it up to wrestling.
probably the only way you can bring him back because he's got the thing with MJF. But I mean, I don't. Ollie, do you have any thoughts? Like,
I'm trying to go through scenarios in my head in which way you could bring him back.
other than that, it's got to be obviously with MJF, but I don't know how you do it.
Maybe a heel program. I don't know. I mean, to me, Adam Cole as a babyface doesn't really work that well. And I mean, look, obviously, I know they're saying they're shorthanded on faces. He didn't get a big reaction last night on Dynamite
unless
either.
you like put MJF in a match with O'Reilly, and then Cole comes out and screws MJF over in the match, but
I'm totally fed up with the Adam Cole MJF thing. You know what I mean? Like the old scenario between those two, turning here, turning there, and the booking. Where the hell is the long-term booking in this company? Which I'll get to later.
Well, the problem,
Cole got hurt. Booking.
Yeah, the problem is Cole got hurt.
It wasn't like the actual
purpose of it. Then bring him back in a way that kind of makes sense. But if anybody has a brain, then
well, that's what I'm asking. How
this is the only way it made sense.
You can do it as 18 zillion other ways. You can do it with
I'm not a booker, but you got to do it a different way.
But listen, obviously people get hurt and all that stuff, but you don't see this in the WWE. You just don't see this. Within a year, both of them turn on each other 2-3 different times. No, dude, you don't see that.
The problem is
you see plenty of bad booking like that in WWE.
The problem is bringing MJF out in that situation to be a heel against Garcia, to then bringing Cole out. MJF's got to be.
He could have just came out and cut a promo and not even at the end of the damn match. If you want to stick them two apart from that situation, then put MJ out there and have Adam come out again. How many times have we seen that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's easier ways to get out of that, dude.
I thought it was a very ECW feel of like rolling things into each other, kind of.
Well, but they rolled it into nothing.
Sure.
They rolled it up into nothing, and I'm like,
well, not like ECW. Not like ECW rolled it into a conclusion at all.
But we rolled it into violence. Nothing happened there.
You get very muddied pictures because you set up Garcia and Jack Perry, and then you set up Garcia MJF, then you set up MJF Cole. So it's all muddied, and to me it's like, where is the direction? I don't really know, and I don't know if they know. So this to me, look, you got to bring Cole back. Obviously, bringing him back with MJF makes sense, but right now the face heel structure of it makes no sense.
And I'll tell you, just the mess of the whole situation is not good for fans. Fans want a good guy. Fans want a bad guy. Fans don't want to say, ooh, you know what I mean? Maybe a couple of the smart ones are like, oh, what are they going to do? But really, how smart you are? No, this is just bad booking, dude. This isn't no master plan.
Well, even though, I mean, MJF's a tweener.
Dude, you put him in there with anybody, he's going to boot half the time and cheer half the time.
So
a lot of top tier guys.
Well, he's only a tweener because his performance is so good, and people like the cool heel, right? He's not. Well, yeah, he's straight heel though.
100%. But that's what I'm saying. So maybe it works in that aspect because we'll see what they do with it.
We'll see what they do with it, but it was interesting to have a lot of these guys return at the same time. So. Up next, we had a recap, actually, of Will Ospreay defending the international title. And then this match.
Match of the year.
You have it as match of the year? Wow.
Right. Dude, that's the best match I've seen in a long freaking time, dude.
Wow. Okay.
I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Dude,
that
Ty
match
was like
great.
out of his seat.
I loved it.
Dude.
It was absolutely incredible.
I didn't even watch it with those two.
Okay.
But dude, wow.
We have talked about this every time on the Will Ospreay pay-per-view performances, where it's like
him and Swerve. Dude, he's just great.
Him and everybody. Him and Takeshita in the singles. Him and everybody. Like, Will Ospreay's performances are so crisp and so good, and these three guys, the match that they worked together, I thought it was absolutely tremendous.
It's called a synergistic effect. Now, a synergistic effect is when one guy plus one guy plus one guy doesn't equal 3. That 1 plus 1 plus 1 equaled 11 and a half, dude. You can't. There's not a lot. There are some guys that can do the moves and stuff like that, but their timing and everything was just supreme. All right, you're going to have... all right, the guy waited a quarter second, a half second too long for Ospreay to do this or do that. But you got to think, all three of those guys had at least 200 things in their mind in a row that they had to remember.
Yes.
Had to remember. At least 200.
Yes.
Now, let me see if anybody listening to me's brain can remember 200 things in a row.
Yeah, Dr. What's his name?
Dr. Doug, our professor.
Yeah, Professor Doug, but...
He's not a mathematician.
And honestly, to start out, I was like, thought I was going to be disappointed because they were doing the one-on-one thing, and I was like, oh, man, like, this can't be like this. But then when they started getting into it... I was Randy Marsh in that computer chair.
You were what?
We'll explain to you after. No, like
watching the Mariah May on the casting
All
couch.
right, there we go.
it's one of the things I love too is that like they set that table up real early. In it.
That's the one thing I would change about the match.
Oh, okay.
Is not showing the table until Takeshita's like, what do I have to do to win this match?
That's a good point.
So
Okay.
and I like how he looked over at the table like, the table's still there.
Yes.
But it would have been even better, and the crowd would have got a better reaction out of the crowd if you had to resort to the table as
After
this is how
doing-
I have to beat these guys.
I thought Takeshita in this match, and I've been saying it too, they really need to push this guy and give him a big win.
I'm happy
because
he won.
I am too, because he needed this win. He needed it to go to another level. And now you set up with the turn of Fletcher and everything, which that if I had one issue with the match, it would be the fact that there was interference on it, but you did it for a purpose.
Is that why I hated the finish? I got hate finish, but I can't even remember what it was right now.
Kyle Fletcher turned on Ospreay with the screwdriver.
It was to set some.
You don't need that at all.
I understand.
You could have just done clean.
Yep.
I mean, it's to set up Fletcher being in the stable with the Don Callis family.
Do it with a
and
promo.
I wish they would have captured. I wish they would have captured it better, because Fletcher hits him, and Ospreay's kind of like looking up at him, and I wish it was more like the camera getting Ospreay's face, like he was so heartbroken that he got turned on by his best friend, and it was like a slow death, like Takeshita waiting in the wings in the corner to just finish it, but to me the camera didn't encapsulate that moment, even though I knew what the moment was supposed to be, because he was just so heartbroken that his best friend had just turned on him, and even though it was slow happening, he kind of just accepted his fate, and Takeshita hit him with the knee. Like, it was that good. I just wish they would have captured it a little bit better.
But him accepting his fate is like a Japanese kind of thing. Like, hey, I'm going to commit Harry Carrot. That's a Japanese tradition.
It was like,
thing.
I'm so heartbroken that
Guys
whatever.
would do that in matches. I've seen it in plenty of matches in Japan.
He's like, I'm so broken by it, I can't fight anymore.
Yeah,
Right,
so-
I didn't
exactly.
even know that, Hack, but
Yeah.
that's how I saw that ending, and I just wish they
Yeah, I
would
thought you
have
could
captured
have
it
did a
better.
clean finish, but I'm okay with the ending and how they go about it because I understand where it's going.
Yes.
And Ospreay and Fletcher's feud should be awesome.
And
It
I
should be
need-
great.
And I need the number for Fletcher's trap workout guy.
he's gotten real big over the last couple of weeks, man.
His traps are like 9 inches high.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Some of the spots that I loved in this match were
Dude, there was like 8. I stopped after the third
I
one.
can't even remember all of them, but
dude,
I
it
mean-
was like 8 million of them.
Ospreay went up and hit a springboard forearm to Takeshita, and then Ricochet went off the top with a 450 for a 2 count. I thought that was an amazing spot. All the poison ranas that they were doing to each other, and the German suplex, both of them at once from Takeshita
The
was
back
great
handspring,
spot.
the back handspring into the Thunder Bomb was my favorite.
That was so good.
Was my favorite
so
spot.
good, man. Oh my god! Like this match, it was incredible. Like it's literally a highlight reel for how long did it go? 24, 25 minutes or?
This was 20 minutes and 42 seconds.
Okay, it was a highlight reel for 20 minutes. I mean, the work that these guys did, and Takeshita's strikes, his forearms. I mean, a lot of these guys when they do those forearm exchanges, it's like, all right, whatever, just move on.
But it's
to
also
the
the
next part.
guys taking them and making them look
Yes.
deathly.
Man,
Like,
his strikes are so good. I like Takeshita is one of the best workers in the business. This moment for him to get this win, to win the title, I thought this match was tremendous. I can't say anything.
I loved the apron sequence that they did when they were going back and forth and like switching positions, and then who was it? Ospreay jumped off Takeshita's back and went, and he
He
caught
jumped
him
off
and
Ricochet's back, and Takeshita catches him and does
catches
the
him and
driver.
does the driver on that, and then Ospreay's coming off the ropes. Takeshita hits him with the clothesline. He does a backflip, lands on his feet. Then goes to
Takeshita
the
thinks he has him, and then
and he
into
goes
the
for the
cutter.
springboard cutter, hits the cutter, and then the Ricochet 450. Like, Holy man,
They're just incredible. They're incredible.
I stopped my notes. I just put wow. I stopped my notes. I just put wow. I'm like, I can't even.
I have three-way written down. There's nothing under.
Yeah,
because I'm just watching. Like I'm like
literally. And me and Ollie are watching the thing, and I'm sitting.
Ty's over there. He's like, shut it down.
I'm like, oh my god, like, holy shit.
I felt the same exact way, dude. And
It was
I've
the
never
best.
liked
It's
that
got to
about
be
a
the
match.
best three-way match I've ever seen.
It's a no.
I've been in better, but
Oh, okay. There you go. It's a no-brainer 5-star. I mean, I'm giving it 5 stars.
Yeah,
Do we
you don't even have to
give
go
stars?
around the table.
Oh, yeah, it's a 5-star.
I mean,
it's a
I
classic.
mean, all three of these guys in this match are awesome, but the run that Ospreay's on is just I don't even know.
But dude, even three.
He wasn't even the star of the match to me. To me, it was Takeshita.
Yes.
and then
For
Ricochet,
sure.
and then Ospreay. To me,
But that's his selling too.
Yeah.
That's his.
Ospreay getting
Yeah.
Not that they need to be Ricochet maybe a little bit. Takeshita no, but Ricochet maybe needed a little bit push to switching companies, proving he can work with top guy. You know,
Getting his feet wet in this style again of like really
right,
going.
because he's not allowed to do that in WWE.
No,
He can show his athleticism and all that, but he can't go into WWE and have his own match like that. Like, you think anybody told any of them what to do during that match?
No.
That was right, exactly.
Do
He can
whatever
go-
you can.
Right, exactly. So like that's Ricochet proving like, hey, I can hang with the hang.
And
you
that's
know?
to me. I always think of WWE as in NASCAR. They got the restrictor plates on these cars, so they can't
Well, how
go
many
a certain
times did
speed.
I tell you I thought Ricochet was one of their best workers, but he just never got, and he's never been allowed to do
now
anything.
he's got the restrictor plate off.
Right.
You're seeing what he can actually do, and that's what AW can do.
It's just so people know that I don't know. I know about NASCAR and restrictor plates, but I don't know a lot about NASCAR. But what Tosh is saying is, in WWE, especially when Vince was there, he does not want to see you go out in an opening match on Raw and outshine your superstars, your super duper stars later on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, know your role, jabroni.
Right, like sure, show your athleticism, but
yeah, but I can't have Ricochet go out here and outshine Bobby Lashley, who's my
Right.
champion, who can't do half of what he can do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's a
mean.
restrictor.
But
plate.
now
That's what I mean.
in AEW, I'm assuming there's a little bit more freedom there, especially when you're working with an Ospreay, a Takeshita. You're not getting told what to do. They got carte blanche on
Yes.
their matches. So
Yeah, they get a fresh canvas, and you say, "Go ahead, you do what you do."
You do what
right,
you
what's
do.
it? Bob Evans, the foofy tree guy, freaking yeah.
Hack, I gotta ask you, man. You've seen wrestling for a lot longer than we have, man. Have
65 years, 66 years.
Have you ever seen?
I mean, 56.
Have you ever seen anybody like Will Ospreay? Because you got
That dude is freaking awesome.
you got to compare it to the
Oh my
guys at
God.
the time that they're in.
I know, so that I can like work rate wise, I could go with like Masawa. You know what I mean? Like just straight work rate, but it's and Antonio Inoki was that good? You know what I mean? The Great Muda was that good? And who's the other guy that ended up in the wheelchair?
Hayabusa.
Oh yeah, in
Hayabusa.
Japan, you know what I mean. There's guys like that, you know.
Who
You know
Will
what I'm
Ospreay
saying? But
loves. Will
Yes.
Ospreay,
right now, he is head and shoulders above every single person in professional wrestling in America.
And we'll get to this, and it's not just like, hey, I can do moves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's putting it all together.
Yes.
It's not just, hey, I can flip 6 times in the air, and we'll get to that, because what I'm saying is, like, it's the whole package. The selling, the getting everybody else over, the timing, just one point after another, Ospreay is out
Yeah,
of this
He's the
world.
man right now.
He's the man. And then post match, just to add some insult to injury, Fletcher then gave Ospreay the Tiger Driver 91. So you're sticking it to him there. You're doing the one thing that he was afraid to do.
Loved Ospreay's sell during that.
It was great.
Yep. So we shouldn't see him for a little bit, which will bring the big comeback for him. So
And then I'm sure whenever they finally have a blow-off match, he's going to hit it on Fletcher. I mean, I'm sure that's where they're going with it. But up next, backstage, Jerry Lynn was talking to Orange Cassidy. And then he told him that he's never seen anyone like him. And then if Cassidy were to try, he would be something special. And then Hook was there also agreeing. So this kind of plays into the finish of the show tonight, which we'll get to later. But it's a little foreshadowing, I think, for some of these guys with the storyline that they're doing.
To me, I didn't really understand that because
weird,
it's like,
too.
didn't Orange Cassidy already prove that he was special with the title run that he went on?
He did, but
I
I
know
think
the guy has the belt for like a year and a half, doesn't he?
But I think the whole point of this storyline with what Moxley's doing, and we'll get into this more later, it's like, you guys in AEW who want to have fun, this isn't fun. You got to step up and be a man. And I think Jerry Lynn giving him credit
I
like that.
understood what he's trying to do, and I kind of want to see a little bit more of that side out of Orange Cassidy too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Cassidy and Moxley have had that match too on
as
pay-per-view.
far as like
So,
the superstar thing goes, it's kind of like, well, he's already there.
And you also could use somebody more credible than Jerry Lynn in that situation for that promo to me.
really? I think Jerry Lynn's got credibility. I mean, who would you have said for somebody backstage?
I don't know if there's anybody else in that company.
Dean Malenko's there backstage. I mean, who do you have with Jake? Jake the Snake. I mean,
I like Jake.
You like Jake?
Yeah,
there?
I
It's
like
You
Jerry.
can't have it be Jake because Jake is with Lance Archer,
And
isn't he?
No, he just traded him to Callis. You see, they did the trade.
No.
They did a manager trade of now. Don Callis has.
Is that what he was talking about?
Lance Archer,
Which
yeah,
I like.
Which I like, and then Jake the Snake is repping Roosh, Mordos, and Jurlistico. So
you
it's-
put Jake with the Spanish boys,
Yes,
huh?
you did a little manager trade. I like the idea of managers trading people in wrestling too. That's just like a wrestling gimmick
fuck
thing.
it, why not?
I like it. It's a good little gimmick, but just something
Something
different. Something different. Up next on the show, out came Prince Nana, and he was plugging his coffee, and then which I love. I love the fact that he's plugging his coffee.
PrinceNana.coffee.com.
Yeah, I love that.
Dude, I was never so happy and so sad during a promo in my life.
Oh,
I was
stop!
never so happy.
I know you've been wanting this.
I'm like, please, Pile, drive
That's your
that
boy.
That was pulling at Hack's emotional heartstrings.
Oh, it
though.
was so bad.
I mean, they could have saved this for TV, but I know Swerve's from the area, so you probably want to give him on the show for the fans. I really like this a lot. And Swerve, Nana was selling emotion in his face when Swerve was talking. Nana sold so well in this segment. I mean, really
Happy,
good.
real happy, real sad.
Just real sad.
happy, real sad.
And I liked a lot of the lines by Swerve when he said, "You're selling weed to high schoolers."
Oh my God! I couldn't believe you freaking said that. That's my first freaking. I got a note here.
I love that.
That is hilarious.
I know, and that was-
he's like, oh yeah, he didn't deny it.
Well, and especially because it's pay-per-view too, so it's like whatever, like on TV that probably wouldn't have been said.
Yeah.
Good point.
So you got MJ. You got MVP,
That was great.
You got
I love
MVP
that.
and Shelton out there, and the story they're doing, I guess, is that MVP's trying to recruit people into his stable. You saw it more on Dynamite last night as well. And then he said that it's true that things have been going bad for Swerve under Nana's leadership, but he wouldn't have had it all in the first place without Nana. And then Swerve.
I know when he said that, I'm like, oh God, he's not going to do it.
And then
I was disgusted.
Swerve.
As soon as he said that, I'm like, God damn it.
He said Nana is family, and that's something Swerve won't turn his back
And my
on.
paycheck has been going up
Yes.
each week.
And then MVP can forget his business card, and then Benjamin did not like that. Took his jacket off, but then the referees broke it up. I mean,
Shelton looks great.
Shelton?
He just
Shelton
wrestled
looks
last
great.
night.
Did you see him last
on
night?
Dynamite.
I watched it.
Oh,
Him and Leo
dude.
Rush. He was a beast. I haven't
Shelton
seen
can
him.
go.
49
dude.
years old.
I haven't seen
Dude,
him.
and he's got a vert of like 60 inches.
I haven't seen him look this good in probably 15 years. And
Dude,
again,
he looks awesome.
When I was with him in fucking WWE.
I know, but like again with
Dude,
the
he doesn't,
restrictor
look, he doesn't
plates.
look like he's aged.
Or was it the...
No, I know, but like again with the restrictor plates, it's like
Actually, dude, black people, you have no idea. I mean, Morgan Freeman looks like he's like 22 right now. No, does he? Yes, he does. You see him with that bald head and his round glasses? He looks so damn young.
I saw him getting carded at the bar the other day.
black don't crack. I know that's what they say. But Shelton looked tremendous, especially on Dynamite. I'm interested in the storyline. Obviously, I know like Bobby Lashley's coming in, and I'm interested to see who else is going to get in. Because did you see they gave the business card to the Acclaimed last night?
Yeah, and Caster took it, and Bowens didn't.
Yes. Which I wonder if they're building up to something between them a little
About
bit.
time they
I
probably
would like
had
to
a-
see Caster as a singles.
I would like to see Bowens as single. I
I
think
would like to
Bowens. I think Bowens
I
is
think
the better.
Bowens is probably a better singles than Caster.
I'm interested to see what happens with it.
I'm
I think
interested to see both because
Yeah.
I think Bowens is probably the better like in ring worker, and then you have Caster who can talk.
Yes.
So we'll see where each of them can go.
And
Yeah.
that leaves Daddy Ass in a pickle. No.
Yeah.
That one went over my head.
Okay, Hack. So that was that next.
Something you gotta understand.
You got to understand. Up next on the show was Hologram taking on the Beast Mordos. So this match, again, I said I would have liked to have seen this be the opener of the show, but
Nope, can't make it the opener 2 out of 3.
can't make it 2 out of 3 of the opener. Okay. So part of the thing
These
with
people would have been sitting on their hands for the second half of that.
And I was wondering why this was a 2 out of 3 until the commentary made it apparent that that's the standard in Mexico. In Mexican wrestling.
In Mexican wrestling, especially CMLL,
Or in
CMLL, the standard is 2 out of 3 falls. AAA does like 1 fall to a finish usually, so it depends on the Mexican company. And they just signed a deal with Fox Sports in Mexico, actually replacing WWE on there.
I was going to say this is why this match happened.
I think so on the pay per
This is
view.
100%.
Dude, I was wondering why.
And this is 100% why it's so late in the card.
Yeah, I think they're pushing it.
Wait, I could be mistaken. Didn't I see it was Spanish Heritage Month on the card? Or something like that?
I'm
it
not
might be
sure,
Spanish Heritage
but they
Month
something
as well.
but they
I gotta look
mentioned
that
they
up.
had just like signed something with
Fox Sports.
Fox Sports, like Deportes or
Yes.
Fox Sports Spanish or whatever, and they had the Spanish announce table that they were going. That's
Yes.
100% why this match was
And I mean,
on
look,
the card. And I don't think that, like you said, you expect.
September to October, Spanish Heritage Month.
okay.
And like
Good
you said,
call,
you
Ollie.
expected it to be the first match. Fans aren't invested enough in order for that to be a first match.
I didn't watch it.
What?
Honest to God, I didn't watch it. I'm like,
You're lucky.
I'm thinking of the
No.
I'm thinking of I'm totally for who for what. I'm not invested in either one of these guys, and they're going to make you watch it 2 out of 3. To me,
No, you do. You made the right call.
I never
100%.
loved the Mexican wrestling style because how many times can you stand in the ring while your opponent runs right by and you let him without hitting you, and then he hits the other ropes, you watch him again, go out, hit you, and he did it. It's a bunch of spots to nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't waste my time watching this match. If it was a single, if it was just one match, I would have watched it.
It was
2 out
one
of 3.
match.
I'm like, fast forward.
No, but he's saying 1 fall.
Yeah, but it's still 15 minutes of work.
I know, but
If
it's
that's what
work
you
to
wanna call
nowhere
it.
that I'm not invested in.
I
Hack,
listen.
you're.
My
go
own-
ahead, Tosh.
we have
you can
you
start. You can start, Tosh, if you want.
Yeah, I
But-
will. My only issue with the match is that they repeated a lot of spots. So that would be my fault of the match, I guess, if I had to call one out. Especially doing their finishers for a first fall and a second fall, and then in the third fall, suddenly being able to kick out of their finishers in that third fall after they did them then. I enjoyed the work in this match. You could tell they were a little nervous at points, a little off at certain points. But these two guys can really go. Hologram is somebody they've been pushing hard on Collision. He's undefeated right now. And the Beast Mordos is a fantastic base. Taking all that offense. I love his dives. He does a dive through the ropes where he does like a twisting dive.
That was the best part. That was the best part of the whole entire thing. Was him.
In between the second rope?
Yeah.
And then spin it after?
He dives through straight up, and then after he's through the ropes, he spins.
I know, and then when he landed, he like had to grab his mask and like turn it like 10
I thought you
degrees.
didn't watch.
So he could,
Oh.
I
You
just saw.
liar.
I remember seeing that one spot.
Right.
Look, I love Mordos doing the super gorilla press plant to him as well. There's a lot of good spots in this match. I enjoy the work. You guys are not fans of Lucha, I guess. I'm going 3.5 stars for this. Ollie?
I got a laundry list of notes if you want to hear them.
Yeah, let's hear. it.
I'll go 2 stars, but the thing about this match is that it was just it looked too much like a dance. Like
That's
to me.
Mexican wrestling,
and
dude.
it was all,
It's a dance.
but I mean, it's probably a bad comparison, but like whenever you watch like Ray and Eddie or something in their early days, they were doing spots like these, but it didn't look like a choreographed dance in the way they were doing it. They had everything placed perfectly, so everything kind of looked like a struggle and looked like the move was necessary. This just looked like, okay, you go off the ropes and I go off the ropes.
And make him go, ooh,
and I get that's the style, and that's fine, but it has to look more of like a struggle and like a fight.
Okay. Hack, you
Okay.
said you didn't watch it, so I can't give you a rating.
He
I
just
like-
said exactly. I couldn't have said it better.
No.
I feel exactly the same
Scott?
way.
All right, here we go. So, Hologram in the very beginning, this looked like a complete and utter. He looked like he was staging every single thing. Mortos was waiting for every single thing. they were looking at each other, being like, "Okay, you ready? All right, you ready? You ready? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna hit the ropes." It was too much of that, and my entire basis is this was not a match. This was not a match at all. It was a showcase of maneuvers. It was not a match at all. There was no rhyme or reason for anything that they did. They did a move, and then it was like, okay, let's go show off the next move. Okay, let's go show off the next move. Let's go show off the next move. The first fall, top rope Hurricane Rana, and then hologram pins Big Beast Mortos with some weird arm leg pin.
He did a crucifix.
Yeah,
Crucifix.
where Mortos isn't supposed to get out of this Simon Diamond Wade guy. And
360 pound
yeah, I
bitch.
want to give Mortos suicide dive outside. That was awesome. After the second fall, there was I don't know if you guys know that after the second fall, when Mortos hit him with that sequence where he did the knee powerbomb, the clothesline or whatever. After the second fall, they got up and they were re-engaging again. He hit him with another quick clothesline. I actually wish it would have ended there. But hologram is 2 feet from the ropes. Aubrey runs and goes in between hologram and the ropes, which is already only 2 feet apart, and she starts counting, which is actually probably a snafu by the ref. You're not supposed to be in between the guy and the ropes counting, because he's supposed to be able to grab the ropes. So that was a ref snafu that I caught, which I don't know whether
He was
that or
telling
not
him
was
to
on
fuck out of the way.
No, well, it was weird. His body landed right next to the ropes, and she ran from the middle of the ring over in between. I don't know if that was to save something, anything like that, but. And then they had the same finishing sequence as the second fall later in the match, but then they kick out of it.
I said
when
that
you're
already.
When you're already two falls deep.
I agree.
Yeah, you had that, and I had that. Yeah, it wasn't a match. It was just a display of maneuvers. Like, I'm impressed with what they're able to do, but it literally was, hey, let's get up on the top rope and do this spot. Boom, it happened. Okay, let's go over to this spot and then do a maneuver. Okay, then let's go over to this spot and do a maneuver. There was nothing. I'm impressed with what they were able to do. I'm not saying it wasn't that, but that wasn't a wrestling match to me. It was just a showcase of maneuvers.
Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, man.
Well, all three of us seem to think the same thing, and you're the only one that's not thinking the same thing.
Okay, I liked it. You
Just
didn't even
saying.
watch it, so you can't even have an opinion. I'll listen to
I
time.
can, because I've seen 1,000 of those matches.
All right.
I've been in the arenas in Mexico watching those matches.
Listen, it's
none of you.
He's got to throw that credential.
Listen, it's-
All right, there you go.
I've seen it
That
live.
Uno reverse card there. By
Yes. Uno. Oh, I'm just gonna start throwing it. Uno reverse. That's a new thing.
Guys, we're sitting with El Tashador over here. The Lucha King.
You're out Uno hack. I liked it. It was fun. My issue with hologram, I guess, if I had one thing to nitpick about him, would be his costume and outfit. It looks low rent to me. It looks low
does.
rent.
It's like a Power Ranger kind of
Yeah,
thing.
but I need you if you're trying to present. This is Tony Khan's idea of it's his luchador. He's come up with this gimmick and everything. You got to give him a cool mask, a cool outfit, and a cool entrance. He comes out with the illuminated hologram thing, which is okay, but you got to give me a cool mask. And because to me, it's like if you want to merchandise a luchador, if you want to have your version of a Rey Mysterio Jr. or something, you got to come up with the really cool
Equipment.
mask.
The
Yeah.
thing that I didn't know that Tony made this character.
I didn't
but
know that
two,
either.
Yes.
was that, now think about it, was that him trying to get some kids to freaking buy some shit? Because that's the perfect costume for a kid to watch.
Absolutely.
You know
That's
what I'm
what I
saying?
thought. And he was
They
doing
have no kids in their audience.
Yeah.
Well, and after he was doing his thing, he was doing like the
pose, yes.
like the Power Ranger, like Mexican pose, like he was doing that. But like,
Power Ranger Mexican pose. Ty just coined that phrase.
Yeah.
We're all over it tonight, people.
El Power Ranger.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was a spot fest. Absolutely, it was something different too. So.
I give it a 4.
Yeah, you give it a 4. You give it a. You didn't watch.
Quattro.
Yeah, watch.
Oh shit! I missed that. You guys would have popped huge if I say Quattro.
Yeah, you blew that
Up
one.
next on the
Damn it.
show was
All
Darby.
right, that's it. Cinco.
Can I call it?
Oh, please.
Can I have a pause here for a second?
Okay.
I think me and Oliver had talked about this, but Hack, Tosh, you haven't even talked about this. Did the match card structure strike you in any way by this point in the pay-per-view?
What do you mean by that?
Well, yeah, as in two of the matches shouldn't even happen. Like the Jack Perry match and that match. Take those two out and the structure's not horrifying.
I'm fine with Hangman and Jay being first, but then you have Mariah and Willow second, Jack Perry, Shibata, and then you have the triple threat match. Then this hologram Mortos, then you have Darby Brody, then the tag match, and then Jericho Briscoe is your semi-main. And then
that
the
should
main
have been earlier.
Yes. To me, semi-main.
I'm just thinking, like, right now, I think you started out hot as shit, and then it's like...
Yeah, no, this is a lull period in the show for
No,
sure.
know what I'm
the
saying?
first half of the pay-per-view was way better than the second half to me.
I agree.
Well, yeah, you
Until
have
the
to
main.
understand
I don't know where you put them because everything else was a singles, was a one-on-one. Like everything was a one-on-one. You had one tag and you had one triple threat. So I don't know how you maneuver it, but the first half of the pay-per-view was there, and then it kind of was like nosedive a little.
I think you wanted to give a little breathing room between the three-way Ospreay match and the main event. So normally I think the three-way match should have been no worse than semi-main. But, I mean, you want to give it some breathing room. So do you open with that? No? Okay, then you open with Jay White Hangman. I also think a lot of the things on the show, because, you know, they've been doing pay-per-views, usually they've had longer periods of time in between their pay-per-views, and it's been just a month. And I think this card and their last card were pretty kind of like just thrown together, kind of. And I feel like a lot of the booking for this was not that strong going into this show. A lot of these matches were put together either the week of or the week before the pay-per-view. So you didn't have a lot of build on this show for a lot of the matches besides...
Well, I don't know. You got your Danielson, which is a build. You got your Bucks, which is a build. You got your Darby and Brody, which is a build. You got your Willow and freaking, and what's her name, which is a build.
No, Willow won the match because she won a four-way on the Dynamite the week before. I mean, like, a lot of these were just thrown together.
It's a build. They build it up to get to that spot. You know what I mean? She had to beat people to get there. That's a build-up.
Yeah, the Shibata match, no, though.
Right.
The Jericho Briscoe match was because he just cut a promo on him and said something about Jay.
Right.
There wasn't a lot there.
It was, the Moxley Danielson and the triple threat is your really only like build.
Yeah, I think for this show, at least for me, the booking for this leading into this pay-per-view was not the best.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just thought like the match, like the structure, and I don't know if it was just because they weren't good matches that it, was lackluster. I don't know where you flip. I might have not had Mariah and Willow second. I might have like flipped them. I might have flipped them with like Jericho Briscoe possibly, but
yeah, there's a lot of ways that you could have structured.
I don't know. I
differently.
just wanted to ask because I thought it was. It seemed a little structure.
No, I agree.
Like,
it wasn't the best structure of the card. I totally.
I just wanted to find out
for
if
me,
you guys thought the same.
I would have opened up with this Mordos match. I would have opened up with it to go a little fast paced something and maybe done a quicker match. But I think it would have been a good opener.
I think they probably put that later in the card because of the deal that they had. They thought maybe like giving them maybe gave them a little bit more of a push. I don't know.
Who knows? Up next on the show was Darby Allin and Brody King. I really enjoyed this, man. Look, Darby, any opportunity where he gets to sell his ass off, and that's most of his matches, he's really going to deliver. And obviously, these two guys are friends. They beat the hell out of each other, and Darby took a lot in this match. I really enjoyed some of the spots, and I thought it was really, really good work here. Ollie, what did you think of this one?
To me, I didn't really care for much about the match, to be honest. And I like Brody King and I like Darby, but I've seen enough of Darby just get his ass kicked for the whole match, every match. And I know he's a small guy and he's not going to beat everybody up, but I need to see more than that. Like, I need to see more than him just being a human crash dummy, because now anything you do isn't surprising me.
Okay, I've seen him steps and thrown everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen all that, so I got to see. Like, I don't know. I got to see something different. Like, more wrestling or I don't know. But I'm tired of watching you get your ass beat for 15 minutes and then you somehow squeak out a victory every time.
See, that's kind of Darby's character, though. He gets knocked down 10 times, he gets up 11.
I know, but
it's
he's a
every-
seasoned watcher.
It's every single match, and I'm just like, put him against a small guy, put him against Hologram, and have him do a spot fest or something. I don't, but just putting him against these big guys, and he gets his ass kicked the whole match, and then he somehow ends up winning. It's just like.
No, I know what you're saying.
It's like, dude, this match realistically should be 5 minutes of Brody King ripping Darby Allin in half.
Dude, I don't understand how Brody didn't stop the kid's heart with those chops. He was hitting him with his. Oh, maybe Darby's just that small, and no, I'm not getting into that. That he's 139 pounds soaking wet.
Less.
But, dude, his whole forearm was just hitting that kid from shoulder to shoulder. And it was like a thud, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really like both of them, but it's just like, I just want to see something different.
Okay. No, that's a valid criticism.
Because I really like when Darby works. Like that match that him and MJF had on Full Gear is like one of my favorite AEW matches like of all time.
The opener.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I loved it.
I want to see more of that.
That's a great point, Ollie.
Yeah.
But the thing is, wrestling is wrestling, and the crowd's with them.
Yes, the
crowd's still with them.
Yeah,
so.
and if the crowd's with him, and that's fine. It's just personally, I would like to watch something different.
This is Darby's home territory too, like this area.
Yeah, but it's not going to change. I mean, at this point, he's got to put. It's like Shane McMahon. Every WrestleMania, he's got to jump 15 feet higher than he did before. You know what I'm saying? Run the kid over with a Mack freaking truck at this point?
I know you've seen everything. I know.
Couple good spots though. I like the
good spots.
I like
punch.
the step spot.
Well, that's
spot
right
was
where
awesome.
I'm here. When he hit that kid with the punch after he ran on it, and then when Brody takes the power bomb or whatever the hell was on it, that was good stuff.
Yeah. Really, really good stuff. And
Different. I didn't like him selling it like that. He couldn't get the stairs off of him. You know when Brody put the stairs on him, and he's like, like I can't move, and I'm like, dude, seriously? I mean, that's little. You know what I'm saying? But
I liked the match. It was entertaining to me, but for me, I had Darby getting his ass kicked, and then Brody loses on that. Like, he gives him the coffin drop. He gives him the coffin drop, and then brings him in the ring, and then gives him another coffin drop, and like that's it. After Darby's been through hell and back, a crash dummy course, like getting his ass kicked.
Good call, Ty.
And then he beats big ass Brody King on like two like suicide back dives.
Hated it.
I
hated the finish, and then I hated it. I hated it more that they shook hands afterwards.
Like, I thought it was entertaining, the match itself, but after what Darby had just been through that entire match, he beats Brody on like two stupid like coffin drops. I thought I
love the coffin drop. I'm a huge.
Yeah, but he's got to do more.
I like the move.
Do
I like
17
the move.
of them, maybe.
You hate finish your spamming, Hack.
No, but there it makes sense because it's a small guy who has to beat a big guy, so I have to use my finisher multiple times.
Yeah,
No,
that makes sense.
I like the maneuver itself, but 130-pound Darby Allin beating Brody King on two coffin drops after he just got drugged through everything and got beaten up with everything. It just made it look. Made it look kind of weak.
I like that the commentary played up the fact that he had never beaten King before, and this was the first time he beat King.
You know what I mean? That's what else?
That's the whole reason why this match is there. It's because
he's never beaten him before. So that was
that Judge?
That was Judge.
I need over 7.5. 7. I need.
Okay. Well, you'll
yes, they win with Judge. Oh yes.
There you go, Hack. There you go. Okay. So star rating, I'm going to give this 3 stars. I enjoyed it. Ollie?
I'm going 2.
2. Hack?
What match were we doing again?
There you go. Darby Allin, Brody King.
Oh, dude, that's a 4 easy.
That's a 4 easy. Ty?
I gotta give it a 3 just because God bless Darby Allin. I don't know if he's gonna be able. I don't know if he's gonna be able to walk in 10 years, but I mean,
love the guy.
I hated the finish, but I mean, I was entertained. I didn't structurally like how it ended, and it didn't really make sense. But I was entertained for sure.
Okay. Up next on the show was Private Party challenging the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team titles. This match was set up because Private Party beat the Young Bucks 5 years ago, and that they have a win over them. And I'm like, well, what
a build-up.
Yeah, did you push them at all in those last 5 years? No, not really. I mean, like, that they were not that credible of challengers heading into this match, and then the whole point of this match was trying to get them over in a loss. And they've been doing a lot of things with the Moxley group, being like intimidated and trying to fight back and standing up for themselves. So I hope that they are developing like another like character level to them and everything. But this match, again, we've been talking about the Young Bucks being stale act, and then here they are in this match, and the work in this match was perfectly fine. I enjoyed a lot of the spots in it, but again, the tag team division in AEW and the Young Bucks to me are just kind of stale at this point.
I know, but dude, I saw like 4 or 5 like nice, innovative like spots that I hadn't seen before.
Like, I love the silly string. They do the silly string spot, and they did that to the outside with a twist on it that I've never seen. And they did, like Hack, you're saying, the ingenuity in their spots.
There was some total different spots that I don't remember ever seeing with those dudes. But the 2 black guys are super talented.
Oh, Private Party? Yeah, they're so talented.
The creativity was there. The crispness wasn't.
Right.
Nothing was like crisp. Nothing was like super, super clean. And like Private Party, they have tons and tons of potential.
Yes.
I think Isaiah Cassidy's probably better than the other one. But I know Mark's been hurt for a while and he hasn't been in the ring.
Yes.
But they just need reps.
Oh, absolutely.
And like just to keep working and work as much as possible because they're good. And I think they can get it. But everything was just like a half second off in this match.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I think you gotta, like, the thing I want to see with them too is, if you notice in the post match, they kind of were waiting for the fans to give them a standing ovation, and it just never came.
The crowd never got to like that level where they were like super, super behind them.
And they had some good falses in there. Like, there were a couple falses towards the end that, like, I was like, are they going to change this up right here? Are they going to... No. But look, I thought the work in it was really strong. But again, to me, the Young Bucks, I'm kind of over them at this point.
Absolutely. I was just getting ready to say something like that, as in, it's like, dude, it's so easy for them. It's like neither one of them showing any kind of emotion whatsoever. It's like those guys could be sitting home eating a TV dinner, if anybody even knows what one of those things is, and watching Archie Bunker. You know, it's like they're in their living room just la-di-da-di-da. There's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of memory in that freaking match, too. You know what I mean? You know, but they just make it look so damn easy that it looks too easy for me.
I know. I feel like we're spoiled almost to the point of seeing the Young Bucks for the last, 7-8 years do this. And then you see it so often that you kind of stop appreciating it for what it is. And they are tremendous performers. They are all-time performers. Better believe it. I have nothing but respect for them. It's just, to me, the characters are stale. And you saw it last night on Dynamite too, a little bit, where it's like, where do they fit in this AEW right now? Because with this heel Moxley group and everything, that looks like a real serious heel group.
Well, so is that heel Moxley group? So now you're saying, like you told me like when we started the show, that there's too many heels, but now we got the super heel Moxley group, and then they just made the other group. Who's the group we were talking about? Shelton Benjamin and P. I love P too.
Love MVP.
Yeah, I was with him, and he was with us in WWE in like 2008.
Nice.
I don't know if he was on. I might have been on Raw with him. I can't remember. But P's great. So that's another big faction that's coming in. Now you don't have the mommy faction and shit's going like downhill. You know what I'm saying? With the priest and the other.
That's the other company, Hack.
Oops.
There we go. All right. What
I haven't done that one in a while.
You haven't. It's been a couple of weeks, man. Yeah, it's been a while.
Weeks.
And we're back, baby.
Here we go. There we go. It's all just wrestling to Hack. I don't understand.
I know it is. I have a very hard time discerning.
I know. It's all just wrestling to you. So anyway, Ollie, what do you give it as a star rating for this match? I'm going to give it 3 stars because, again, it wasn't bad or anything, but it didn't get there to me.
I'll give it a 3 because I like the creativity and the thoughts behind it, but it needs to be cleaner.
Hack?
And there needs to be a lot more selling from Private Party.
Hack? He's giving it a 4.
Dude, there's a lot of good stuff that's happening in this match. I think that you made a great point earlier that we're just so used to it from the Bucks. You know what I mean? If we didn't know who the Bucks were, and they just come in here for that match, like suppose that was like the MML match or whatever, you know what I mean? And the Bucks just came in for that, we'd be like, holy shit, those dudes are good.
Yes.
But now it's just like, dude.
Yeah, no, we're overexposed.
I don't know. We can't feel anything for him because we're just like, seen it.
Yeah, Ty?
It was a 2.5. I wasn't too interested in the match. I thought a lot of their spots it was kind of similar to the Mortos match. A lot of them, especially in the beginning, were like set up. They looked like they were all like, it was like a choreographed dance. They wasn't a match to me. It got actually a little bit better, and it got going a little bit closer towards the end, but it might just be, like Hack said, just run-of-the-mill, same old stuff to me with the Young Bucks, and we're kind of getting a little bit old with it, and I thought, I don't know Private Part, I don't know their individual names, but the guy who looks like Montez Ford took the pin, and the guy with the dreads, he was down on the ground way too long. That finish took way too long. It was super slow. It made him kind of look stupid. So I'm going 2.5 stars.
2.5 stars. All right. Up next on the show was the Ring of Honor World Title match between Mark Briscoe and Chris Jericho. This one, I don't know if this needed to be on the pay-per-view.
I agree.
It was not bad or anything. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was a bad match. But to me, it's like, did this have a storyline build going into it? Should be a pay-per-view match.
Jericho doesn't belong in singles anymore.
You don't think he should be doing singles?
Nope.
Wow, you think he should?
I mean, look at his body right now.
It's not great. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I just don't. Well, maybe
you should say he changes a tire.
What?
Like changes wrestling gear. Maybe he shouldn't be coming out in tighty whities anymore. But I think he can still work.
Well, I didn't say that. Maybe I'm just so used to seeing him with 4 other guys near him. You know what I mean? He always had that Big Bill. He had the other guy. Well, the Big Bill's one of the newest ones. And if I got near Big Bill, I would say, "Listen, dude, get away from Jericho because he's keeping you down." You know what I'm saying? Big Bill he could be a star. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, get away from Jericho.
To me, this match again, Hack. It's one of your favorite lines of Ricky Waters for Who for What. I mean, this is, I don't know. To me, it was okay, and I like the fact that I thought Jericho was going to go over in this match. And I think he's going to go over when they have the rematch. Like, I think he's taking the Ring of Honor belt back. Because I think they want to try to get Ring of Honor as, like, a thing again. I don't know. Some of the work in this was decent. Like, I liked a lot of the spots that they did. Mark Briscoe just makes me, like, he pops me every time.
It's hilarious.
I love...
I said, like, nothing's bad in this match. It's just like, it could have been TV.
Mark Briscoe, to me, is one of my favorite. Like, I just enjoy him out there watching him, and you know he's having the time of his life getting to wrestle these things and come out here and to be Ring of Honor champion, which he never was Ring of Honor champion before. Like, Jay was always the top singles star when they weren't tagging together. And I thought that, it's great to see him, and I'm happy for his success and everything. So, again, for a match, I think I'm just going to give it like 2.5 stars.
Oh, wait. Is it the only reason why this match happened is because Jericho said something stupid about his brother?
Yes.
So that was the only build-up for this one.
Yes, he said a comment like about your brother. I forget what the comment was, and to me that's low class a bit too. It's like low hanging fruit. It's cheap heat. I don't think you need to do that. And if you're gonna do something like that,
needs to be in the beginning of a long feud.
Yeah, I mean maybe it is because it
might have been their call.
No. I'm sure they're cool with it. Like I don't think like they're not down with it. But
I think it was Briscoe's call.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Briscoe be like, my brother would have no problem. Hey, let me bring up my brother's name just to bring it up.
I know, but to me, it's still cheap heat. I don't.
Yes, it is cheap heat.
Yeah,
but you ain't doing that unless Briscoe's clearing it, or it was just his idea in the first place.
Absolutely. Like,
but it's also a point to, like you said, there was like a lot of quick makeup in this card building, so the cheap heat is maybe a quick way to promote that match to make it actually mean something.
Yeah, maybe. I'll give it 2.5 stars. What do you give it?
I'm going 2.5. Right with you.
Okay. Hack? 4?
Yep.
Quattro.
The Quattro for here tonight. Ty?
I'll go 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah, I can't give it much more than that.
Yeah. The finish was a froggy bow, and then he hit the J Driller to retain the title.
to speak of that,
The Froggy was a little weak.
I loved this. The best part of this match was when Jericho hit him with the Judas, which actually looked great.
Yeah, it did.
Actually looked great. And then Briscoe was so awesome playing Lifeless. And then he was going to hit him with the J Buster, hits him with the J Buster. Kick out. Great false. Too much Hulkster build-up. Too long.
Too much fire.
Too long. It took way too long for him to get to the finish. Like, it was like, okay. And you can hear him. He's like, hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Like, you could see, like, you could hear him and you could see him. Well, at least I could because I'm watching for that stuff. But, yeah, I thought it was great. Briscoe was great being Lifeless, that whole thing. But just the Hulkster fire-up took way too long for me. It's like, all right, man, we get it. Like, we get it. Fire back.
Yeah. Up next on the show, this was the main event. This was the AEW World Title match between Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley. So Moxley basically choked out Bryan with the bag the previous month, and Bryan's been saying,
Hate that.
Bryan's been saying,
Not believable.
Bryan,
Why wouldn't he just rip the bag with his fingers?
You said that last month.
Oh,
so-
did I?
Yeah, you made the
I know. Well, though, I don't understand why they keep going back to it.
I agree with you, though.
And then if you're going to do it, you do it like this. You get your breath inside the thing, right? Because you see he's got his hand under there, like underneath his chin, right? Get your breath and then pull it down and then suck the bag in your mouth.
Yep.
That'll sell it a little bit, you know what I mean? And you're under control of all of it because you can do this, you can pull the bag away from you can pull the bag in. If you suck it in your mouth, then people are really going to believe it.
No, Hack, that's a great point, man. I don't know if they sold the bag as well as they could have.
Nowhere near.
But I want to talk about this match.
But dude, that's like killing somebody. Dude, you're not. I don't know.
Right,
Paul
it's
Heyman
too
used
much.
to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I must have been cutting a promo when Paulie first got in. I said, you know what? I will kill you. And Paul goes, no, we're not killing anybody. Nobody's going to be dead after this. We don't go there. You know what I mean? But this angle, I mean, if the bag's too weak for me. It's just this.
Well, they did. I mean, we'll get to the finish and everything post-match afterwards here, but this match, look, Bryan said the next time I lose, I'm retiring as an active singles wrestler, full-time wrestler.
This gives him an out.
This, man, the beating that he took in this match from Moxley and what they did in the post-match and what this sets up, it really sets the stage for
Another heel made tonight, a super heel.
Oh, he's super heel.
I hate the ball guy being a lackey too.
Cesaro.
He's
Claudio.
really good.
Claudio,
but
he's
I don't
amazing.
like him being a lackey.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my issue with the Blackpool Combat Club in general from the start, is that they don't need to be a stable together from the jump. These are all guys that should be singles. Like, I don't even like Pac being in there now, because Pac, to me, should be a singles. Claudio should be a singles.
Well, you almost thought that Pac was going to be a replacement for Wheeler, but you find out that that's not even that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's not even that.
That's not even that. And, like, okay, so the match, I mean, look, dude, this is Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. It's
Japanese strong match.
And it was crisp, it was tight, and it was brutal. And you heard a lot of things about Bryan that came out afterwards about the pain that he's been in with his neck and everything. He needs neck surgery. So he's been wrestling these last couple months without a contract, and he needs a neck surgery.
Well, didn't he have neck surgery before?
He did.
Got all this money from Vince in a freaking in a lawsuit. Is that
He
correct?
did not. No, there was no lawsuit.
And he didn't get paid from him or anything.
He was retired for a long time, but there was no lawsuit. He did not have a lawsuit with WWE. The work in this match, really, really good. I enjoyed like the brawling style of this. Moxley, when he is on and focused, is one of my favorite wrestlers in the business.
He's jacked right now.
He is huge right now, and I love Marina Shafir. It gives him an extra element.
I don't even know who that girl is.
She's a former MMA fighter. She was in WWE for a little bit too.
Okay, no, yeah.
And she just, man, she's got an aura about her, and the group does as well. So like, I really,
think it was the right move putting her in the group.
totally. It gave them a different vibe and everything. I really enjoy that. I thought the work in this match, look, it's Moxley and Bryan, man. It's just tremendous. I mean, what else can you say about that? The finish itself, man, dude. I think the
Great finish.
The finish was just tremendous. I mean, because the fans, I think the fans there, because it was the hometown, I think maybe part of them was thinking like, oh, he's not going to lose here tonight. And instead, what you do is you give them the ultimate, nope, we're putting them down.
Loved it.
We're putting them down
Loved
in the dirt. We're putting them down in the dirt, and you're all going home sad. I mean, like, seriously, they're all going home sad
Which
that night.
something people don't have to understand something. Like, not many companies ever want, like, and I'm going back to when I first started, and there was all the territories and stuff like that. You usually left the people happy. You know what I mean? You wanted to leave them happy. You didn't want to leave them bitter. And that's like Bill Watts and stuff like that in UWF. He'd beat the shit out of the babyface and go off air like that. You know what I mean? He would want you to be pissed off and want to see that baby come back next week. You know what I mean? So there's two schools of thought on it. But I didn't expect Danielson to lose.
You didn't. Because
But I mean, you know, I'm not a booker. No, but I didn't expect him to lose. I was prepared to be disgusted when he wins and then vacates the title and they're going to have a tournament.
okay.
That's kind of where my head was.
Yeah, so the finish was Moxley hit some lariats, then he hit a Death Rider, and then Moxley pile drives him, and then he just gets him in a choke, and Danielson was out. And the crowd was like silent. It wasn't a pop really, it was this silent. And it was kind of like this realization that, oh shit, we're not going to get to see the American Dragon wrestle anymore. And it was a shock. And then everything out that happened post-match. So post-match,
all the carnage.
Post-match, Moxley's crew then just is beating him down. They take out the plastic bag, and then Darby Allin comes out to make the save. And then Wheeler Yuta runs in and takes Darby Allin out, and then he puts the bag over Danielson's face himself. And then this is what I really liked about this angle, and I wish they followed up more on this on Dynamite last night like this. You had the locker room run out. You had Private Party out. You had Jeff Jarrett run out. You got all these guys.
Jeff just had to be out there.
And he's getting beat down, though. I mean, he got thrown right.
It doesn't matter.
Right? I mean, he's just coming out. You have all these guys coming out.
And the crowd popped for him.
Of course.
When he's running down the freaking aisleway, because he was like one of the, when it was one guy, before it was like 8. They were popping for him because they thought he was going to do something.
Yes, and he just immediately gets taken out, and I love that. Like
So did I.
This was just tremendous.
And he went down fighting too. Wasn't it Moxley that grabbed him and then started beating him into the corner up against the boards?
Yeah.
But he was fighting back though, you know what I'm saying? Because he was fresh. Jeff's smart.
Yeah, no, it was really, really well done. And then Claudio, he just does that, the Brian Pillman with the chair around Danielson's neck. And jumps down on it. And then finally, like you were saying, Hack, everybody ran in. Everybody was then, like on the commentary, Excalibur was very somber and like very shook. And then Danielson did a stretcher job to end the pay-per-view. The final shot of the The final shot of the pay-per-view was again a somber Orange Cassidy, Hook, Danny Garcia looking at this carnage. And then those are the guys that are going to have to step up. Moxley put Bryan down to send a message to the locker room. And if you saw Dynamite last night, how it opened up with them on the back of the truck, did you guys see the promo?
No,
Tremendous promo. You guys got to check that out.
I saw it. It was good.
And Yuta looks like he's like a broken man. like there's this angle. I mean, the way that they should sell it is everybody should be talking about this, and it should be the only thing they're talking about on the show. But I thought this
What? Dude, the only thing they should be talking about on this show is the three-way match.
Well, but
three-way match blew away anything and everything, any angle, anything on that freaking card. That three-way match of the freaking year, dude.
I thought it was great, Hack. Don't get me wrong, but the stakes of this and what they did.
What are the what?
It's your champion.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I know. Wait, one of 11?
but he's your champ.
One of 11?
And he's also the legend.
Oh, is that the Ring of Honor belt that he has?
No, he had the AEW World Title.
Oh, okay. Who's got the Ring of
Mark
Honor?
Briscoe's the Ring of Honor.
Okay, yeah.
championship.
And then is there another champion too?
There's a couple different champs. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, come on.
Overall, though, I give
doing
this
shit.
I give this 4.5 stars. I thought it was really, really awesome.
I'm giving it 4.
Hack 4. Ty.
I gotta go 3. I really hated the finish, to be honest with you.
So did I.
You just liked it.
Didn't you just say you
No,
loved
I
it?
thought I hated it.
What? You thought you hated it? You liked the fact
Oh,
that
no,
they
I
went
did.
on a bummer.
No, yeah.
Yeah, because he lost. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you
no,
like?
I'm looking at the match before.
Okay.
No, I actually hated the finish because that's your champion. He went out in a whimper. It was
Well, no, you do business the right way. So,
It was
what
30
was he
seconds.
supposed to win? And then how was he supposed to get rid of the belt if he really needs an operation? Then what do you do with the belt afterwards?
No,
you got to get the business done.
I'm not
there.
saying that. I'm not saying I'm not saying the decision to change hands.
You don't like that he was put down
I'm
the way
saying
he
it was 30 seconds. He didn't fight. He didn't do anything.
Well, that's because what a real tap out is.
choked out.
Yeah, that's what a real. We see guys for a minute working their way over to the ropes and shit like that are in arm bars that you should be tapping out in 5 seconds.
But that's your champion. I expected a little bit. If you're taking that belt from him, you gotta take that belt from him.
Okay, I get
Like he can't go out in 30 seconds.
All right, what did
is
they
my
do
point.
before it?
Ty,
What
I,
did
think,
they?
I think part of the story, though, of Brian going out the way he did is that he's been fighting every week, fighting these big challenges. He's
I
wrestling
know, and it was
Okada.
so horrible. He went to throw a punch, and he couldn't throw a punch because his neck hurt, and then did 25 more minutes in the match.
I was
And-
wondering when you were going to say
And-
something like that.
Yeah, it was.
First
he's
time
working,
tonight.
and
That's
he's
the
working the
story.
neck the whole time, and then the story's him choking out, and all of a sudden he can't possibly go anymore because of his neck. I don't know.
No, but it's a legitimate chokeout, even if your neck's not hurt.
the thing that I like-
just expected a little bit more fight. If you're
Well, they
going
had
to
to beat him a
choke,
little bit more.
if you're going to choke out your champion, and I understand it's a legitimate choke, I just expected there to be like a little bit more fight. Like what was it? Was it Gunther Randy or
Yeah, they were-
there was like
struggle.
a little bit struggle,
Yeah.
like a little bit more. Like he kind of just ended it.
Yeah, what I liked about it though, ultimately, is they gave you this whole big happy story with Sting's retirement, and he didn't job at the end. He won his last match, and then I think a lot of wrestling fans these days are used to like happy endings, and you gave him a real bummer. And I feel like that's awesome. If you can use
I think
it,
it's totally fine that Moxley won.
Yeah.
I just hated how it kind of
if you
went.
can,
The crowd told you everything. The silence of the crowd until finally they start. I mean, there's nothing. There's basically some, except when what's his name, the bald dude. They got their big pop for that. You know what I mean? But then the next thing the crowd's doing is thanking Danielson as he's getting carted out. They did their job in the finish.
And
Yes.
I'm actually super happy that there was no interference. Well,
Yep.
like
Marina did a little.
The chick did a little bit, but there was no like Claudio or anybody. Like there
No, it
was
was
no
clean.
interference. Like even like in the beginning or the middle of the match, like they didn't come out and like try and get him, and then Danielson fought him off, and then came back. Like
And
I
that's
like that it
his
was-
call, Danielson's call.
Right, like
Easily.
I liked how that was. Even though the chick, I forget her name, but
Marina
even though
Shafir.
she whatever, and then she got kicked out and everything like that. But I loved how it wasn't like this guy comes out, Danielson fights him off, then this guy comes out. You know how they would typically do it. I love how it was just basically kind of him and Moxley, and he went down. I don't have a problem with Moxley going over. It was just a little bit.
I got one
So
question.
wait a minute, hold on. Before I forget? So was Danielson a transitory champion, or did we have any idea this was going to happen, or is his injury the reason why he was a transition champion at 59 days, whatever, 60 days?
I think that this was the plan when Brian got it.
You seriously? They
Yes.
were going to give it to Moxley 2 months later.
Yes.
Wow.
We talked about this when he got it. We said WrestleDream in Washington seems like the logical place where he's going to lose it, and we talked about Darby possibly winning it, but Moxley here with this
Yeah, but I didn't think he
storyline.
was going to lose it because I don't think. I don't know, and then I don't know, dude.
I did.
I don't think that was in the booking.
I do.
I think he got hurt and that changed the booking.
No, I think this is when they were going to wrap up for this. Always, I think that was. But overall, a little bit of a disjointed show, but a ton of great stuff on there. You had the awesome three-way, the great closing angle. Overall, I really enjoyed this show. Definitely a thumbs up for me. Ollie, what do you say overall about the show?
Yeah, I think it was a good show. I mean, I think the first half of the pay-per-view totally outshined the second half. I don't know if that was because of like the card structure or it was just better matches or
No, I agree.
whatever. But I mean, overall, it was okay. Not their best pay-per-view.
Not their best. I agree.
I think they could have did better. I mean, to me, it was just like okay.
Hack?
Are you looking for a rating on it?
Oh no, just in general.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, yeah, it was all right. I
Yeah.
mean, the 3-way match is like might be the best 3-way
To me,
match
that
I've ever
carries
seen.
the whole pay-per-view.
Yeah,
that's why I have to give the pay-per-view a 4. If it doesn't have that match on it, then it goes to a 2.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like the Jay White and Adam Page, Mariah, Willow, and the 3-way match.
Yeah, I was just going through the same thing in my head. Everything else, I was like,
Yeah.
But those 3 matches were awesome.
Ty?
I agree. It was one of their. Usually they shine on their pay-per-views. Like everything that they do, they shine a lot in a lot of their work. And I thought the work was pretty lackluster in majority of these matches, like what basically everybody else said. It was a little. I don't know where they're going in some of these instances, which is
neither do they.
which is a little bit alarming. But yeah, it was a little bit lackluster for typical. I mean, it was fine. I liked some of it, but I was definitely underwhelmed watching it like as a whole.
Yeah. Oh, but it's interesting stuff. I think they're in overall kind of like a transition period of the company. They got the new TV deal, which is great. But I think they're figuring out some things, and they're getting a lot of new talents in there. They're getting a lot of returns in there.
When does that TV deal kick in?
Soon. I mean, I think
Start of the year?
Yeah, I believe so. And I know Rampage is going away. They're not going to have Rampage anymore.
Okay.
So it's just going to be Collision and Dynamite?
Yeah, and they're shopping a third show. They're trying to get a third show on
it's
somewhere
just
else.
interesting to see because it's like, okay, you're transitioning into Moxley. When you have a new TV deal, Moxley's now your champion. And it's going to be interesting to see like where things go.
Yeah,
Great point, Ty.
I'm interested to see which of these guys in the face side of things steps up to be the guy to dethrone Moxley. Who's going to step up and try to beat him? So it's going to be. Could be.
Oh, please don't put the belt on.
It's not going to be. They wouldn't put the belt. I don't
I'm
think
saying
so.
like a program starting the new year. Edge is a face that a lot of people know.
Yeah, they could go there.
I'm not saying he's going to take the belt, but to start something as like your first new TV deal, whatever.
A known face. That's a good point.
That's my
because
point.
of the known face.
Right.
Great
Not
point,
saying he's
actually.
going to take the belt, but
That's a great point.
All right, guys. Next week on the show, we got a real special one for you. I'm not even going to.
We do?
Yeah, we do, Hack. I'm not even going to tell you what it is, guys, because it's that special. You're going to see about this on social media.
No, it's all right. Everybody's thinking, well, he doesn't even know that.
Yes, I do.
He didn't do his homework.
No, we haven't.
we're not going to tell him?
I don't want to tell him. Do you want to tell
All
him?
right. No.
Shut up, Ty. You're just making up shit
No, do you want to
now.
tell him? I'm not going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him.
I mean, this wasn't part of the show sheet.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't part of the show sheet, but listen, I'm going to tell you guys this. We're going to be down at Suplex again. We're going to be cooking up something special for you guys down at Suplex, okay? That's all I'm going to tell you. You'll see.
Who's Suplex?
Suplex Vintage Wrestling, Hack, down there on South Street.
I
Our
actually
friends-
know these guys. Love these dudes.
We got something special for
Two
you guys.
owners
next-
are great.
We got something special for you next week, so please be sure to check out social media.
Yeah, I hope they have something special for me when I'm going down there.
I'm sure they'll have
The
some,
owner took care of me last time.
Air
sure
conditioner?
I'm sure they'll have some goodies for you.
No, this time he needs a Bunsen burner.
Yeah, really. It might be cold as shit up there.
Oh, God. Oh, man. As always, you can reach us at sandmanpod@gmail.com. We want to hear from you guys. We have gotten so many great listener questions.
That's awesome.
And I got to say, too, Inbred Ed. A shout out to Inbred Ed, one of our favorite
you
listeners.
round-headed.
He sent us in a picture. He met you twice at signings recently this past year.
He did?
Yeah.
How did you not remember, Hack?
Yeah, you can't remember.
Big surprise.
Inbred Ed.
I
So-
know, but did he say that? Yo, Ed, if you ever see me in another signing, be like, yo, I'm Inbred Ed from fucking podcast.
He will be sure to. So I'll have to show you the
Tell
picture.
Franny, she'll remember.
I'll have to show you the pictures too that he sent us, but they're really cool. First up here,
Do we want to see these pictures?
Yeah, they're
I mean,
fine. It's
All
just
right, from
hanging
Inbred Ed.
out.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. Inbred Ed sent a picture.
no,
So I
I
don't
want to
fine.
see Ed and his sister.
We might have to. I was gonna say we
Or
got to
his third cousin,
gotta show
which
them
is
to our
okay.
Here we go. First up is a new write-in here.
Nice.
Ian from Las Palmas in the Canary Islands.
Wow! All
welcome,
right,
man.
hold on. All right, Doug. Next week, I'm gonna preempt your question for this week, or if you give me the answer to Northern Africa, where are the Canary Islands, Ty?
Where are the Canary Islands?
I think I know.
Tosh.
Spain?
All right, pretty damn close.
Pretty damn
That's
close?
the answer. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, well, it's off the coast of Africa and Spain and the Strait of Gibraltar and fucking Monaco right there.
I thought it was next to the Cockatoo Peninsula.
Good answer, Ty.
Here we go. Hello, Sandman, Sand Children, and Sandworms. Love
All
the
right,
You're the
take
worm?
it easy, Ian.
I don't, yeah. Love
Who
the
are
show.
the worms?
I don't know. Love the show. I have a question about the opening theme to the podcast. Does it have any relevance to Hack's career? So, just to tell you the truth,
What is it?
it's
I don't know. I don't listen to it.
Sandman.
You don't play it, dude. He doesn't play it before we start the show.
it's
And we don't. And he don't listen to it.
Oh,
so.
is it the America song?
yes,
Yeah,
it's the America
America,
song. So
Sandman.
Love it.
it's funny as we were putting together the show. We spent a lot of time putting everything together. And my buddy Rory, actually, we were talking about America the band one day, and we just happened to listen to that song.
And I saw him live, like in like 78, 79.
Yeah, and the first time I heard the song, I was like, man, we got to have this as the theme song. And I remember I sent it to you guys, and it was just like,
I had never heard it before, and then you'd send it to me.
And
I was like, all right.
it just fits, man. And ain't it feeling foggy outside? I mean, it just
Do a bump.
Well, yeah, and you can. I
catch-
mean, you can go Enter Sandman with Metallica, but I feel like this actually is more of the vibe. The America song is more the vibe of the podcast than it is, the Metallica Enter Sandman. So it works perfectly.
yeah, it works perfectly. So yeah, that's kind of how we have the theme. And you like the band America as well, Hack?
Yeah. Oh, Horsewood No Name,
That's-
Sister Golden Air Surprise. They got like 4 great songs.
So it was like a perfect fit for us.
Yes.
Honestly,
100%.
it just absolutely perfect. I couldn't think of anything else for it. And secondly, I wonder if ECW had anything akin to Wrestler's Court. I feel like Sandman likely would have been suitable to take the Undertaker role as judge. Hack?
Dude, it's so funny you say this. So, actually, the night that we all found out that Chris had killed his son and Nancy, that afternoon, and you mentioned, dude, so it was crime time. Did I mention the 2 guys that were in the match with the Young Bucks? They remind me of Crime Time. I meant to say that earlier, but so Crime Time, there was a problem with them and some rats or something like that. So Drew, they were getting taken to Wrestler's Court, and they went to Dreamer, and they're like, "Dude, we need somebody to defend us. You guys got to Hack." So they came to me. I was going to defend those 2 guys that day, and the Undertaker was going to be the judge. So there is real wrestling court, but the Chris shit happened, and I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Because I had the case wrapped up. I heard what they were saying, and I'm like, dude, this is a piece of cake. Nobody owns any rat. And that was basically what it came down to. Somebody was abusing somebody else's rat, and a rat, that everybody, just so you know, is girls that hang around the wrestlers just to have sex with them. That's what a ring rat is, and they're called other things they're called buckle bunnies in rodeo. You know what I mean? So the girls that just want to do the boys, and the whole case was around that one of them screwed with another guy's rat, but dude, she's a rat.
A rat's a rat's a rat.
Yeah,
There's
she's
no
abused.
ownership.
Yeah, there's no
For
ownership
everybody.
of
She's
rat.
for the streets.
So I had the case locked up.
Wow.
Even with my, I wasn't going to have anybody take the stand or whatever. My whole case was going to be a rat's a rat.
Hack,
That's
what
it.
would Hack was going to go in and say, Your Honor, the rats are for the streets.
Yeah, Splinter. I was just gonna say.
Splinter.
I was just gonna say. What do you call? Is Undertaker your honor, or is he your
Dude,
your
he's
dead man? Your dead man.
All right,
your-
this is how I would be. Imagine in the Wizard of Oz when the Cowardly Lion or the Scarecrow or the Tin Man go up and talk to Oz when they first meet him. I would have been like, "Oh, Your Excellency, Your Wizardry, Your Honor," and then I would have ran and jumped out the window, and Crime Time would have lost.
Wow. Great question. Rest in peace, Shad Gaspard, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Glove
rest in
don't
peace,
fit.
man.
You must have quit with those rats.
Hack, I gotta ask you a question though, but like to his question, did ECW have ever anything like Wrestler's Court?
No, dude, we were different. There was no ribs in ECW. There was no wrestling court. We were too much of a family.
Well,
Okay.
if something was there anybody like one person in
Nah, you
particular?
might have heat in the locker room, but Paulie Lyon took away from anybody else's heat.
I'm just saying, like,
Honestly.
I'm just saying, like, in the ECW locker room, was there like one person that somebody would maybe go to for something like that? I mean, maybe like a Terry, or but he wasn't even really around that much. Like,
right.
so there wasn't even really one person.
So Taker was the judge in the WWE Wrestler's Court. Who
Although
would
he was going to be the judge that day.
Who would have been-
And I was not happy about it.
who would have been judge in ECW? Tommy or you?
Oh, Tommy.
Tommy would have been the judge.
Yeah, I would have been prosecutor or
You would have
defense
been
Oh,
attorney.
no, Hack
Yeah, you would have been in Wrestler's Court every day.
yeah, literally.
Yeah,
I would have been defending.
yes.
All right, so what Hack do this time?
Screwed up last week.
All right, up next here, another new.
How much time would you have got for jump rope and naked in Pensacola?
Dude, I'd have got life.
Up next is another new write-in here from Kyle, emailing from a delivery van in Central Ohio.
All right, Kyle, you anywhere near
On the grind, baby.
That's what
we
he
love
said.
it.
Near
UPS.
Chillicothe?
UPS, FedEx, Amazon.
Tell us
pizza
more, tell us
delivery.
more.
Yeah, what do we got?
What's up, Hack Pack? Weighing in at a stout 165 and measuring a staggering.
Yes!
Is this Simon?
No. And measuring 5'6.5 inches. I finally got caught up from the first episode and feel like I can send in questions. I first heard about the podcast when Sandman was on Busted Open for WrestleMania weekend and instantly knew I had to start listening to you
Took
guys.
you long
That's
enough.
hilarious because he butchered it completely.
Yeah,
I know who asked me where we can find me? I'm like, I don't know.
LaGreca. I know, he's trying to serve you up a softball. Acts like,
there you go, Kyle. You're the only listener that appearance got us.
I know. There's 1,000 people in the building.
Way to go. Biggest podcast in wrestling. And
All
you're
it
the
takes is one.
Thank you, Kyle. I first heard about the podcast when Sandman was on Busted Open for WrestleMania weekend and instantly knew I had to start listening, and you guys never disappoint. Some of my favorite hack phrases have to be, nah, don't remember, and what you guys got to understand. It's true.
What are you going
You say that a lot, Hack. I don't know if you know.
Well, yeah.
What
you guys got to understand something.
Everybody has something that
Yeah.
they
A few weeks ago, Stevie Richards ranked the pain of different weapons, and he put a chair shot to the head at the top.
Easily.
But Hack said it's really not that bad.
It isn't.
Well, is it easy? It's not. What is it, man?
Wait a minute. What?
You always downplay chair shots to the head.
Yes,
like
I
they're not
do. I know that's for me. That's not for guys like Stevie,
Oh,
dude.
oh.
Stevie's sitting in a cubicle looking at a computer. You
You're
know
just
what I'm
built
saying?
different.
Oh,
You're
you
just
got the
built
web
different.
frame.
Yes,
That's
Okay,
dude,
okay.
I'm a fucking beast.
All right. There
I'm
we
a
go.
straight beast. Get here. Anybody I want you to watch mine and Balls Mahoney's match where he freaking wallows me as hard as he could at least 10 times. Almost as bad as The Undertaker and Cactus Jack in that one pay-per-view. Dude, I'm made different.
All right.
Well,
He
and
said-
if you listen to the podcast, you see
I know why.
you see why.
I'm a half fucking. I'm a half retard.
Wait, which match are we talking about again?
All right, here we go. I'd love to hear him rate other weapons Stevie did, or maybe a list that Tosh makes up. You guys keep being awesome. Peace. I mean, what's the worst weapon to take? Anything that, like, to you? What's the,
No, for me there wasn't one.
there wasn't one.
No, dude, there wasn't a worse one.
Okay, but you're fine with any, like a frying pan? Is that bad? I mean,
Well,
okay.
dude, if it's a frying pan that weighs freaking a quarter pound, not if it's an iron skillet, the cactus whaled me over that.
Okay, a bottle. What about a bottle? A bottle? Okay.
Oh, real
No.
bottle?
No.
Dude, a real bottle's hard. Like a real
I
beer
know.
bottle's
I'm
hard.
trying to
break
break
than you think it is.
What about a ladder? Like shoot ladder to the head?
Dude, well, here we go. The black ones and the orange ones are heavy. The ones
Ladders?
that are, yeah.
Okay.
But back in my day, they were all like real light. Those ladders didn't
Yeah,
even
like
weigh a
aluminum.
pound.
Aluminum.
Yeah, like the ones that with Terry Funk and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It all depends on who's freaking hitting you,
Right.
and if you got a good eye on it.
Did you ever take the guitar from Jack?
Oh no, because we were babies. You know.
Okay.
He would come out during my match and hit everybody.
I
hit
can't
the
imagine
Dudleys,
it's
not
that
me
bad.
and Dreamer.
Yeah, and I know
hollow.
Jarrett's
I
are
can't-
gimmicked and everything.
Yeah,
So,
I can't imagine it's that bad.
Okay, Kyle, you're going to have to write us in again. That was a good one there.
Good job, Kyle.
Ryan from Massillon, Ohio writes in, thank you guys for the
That's two Ohio boys back to back.
Yeah, thank you guys for the kind words last week. He was the one who had some family struggles he was dealing with. So
Hey, man, always keep
Hope
it
it's
going,
going.
man.
Hope it's going good, right?
yeah, brother. Today's question isn't about wrestling. Now that the Phillies are out of it, who's everyone got in the playoffs? Yankees or Guardians, Mets or Dodgers? I'm a little worried with the Yankees, but I feel like Cleveland can pull it off. I don't know about this one, Ryan. We're launching right now. You guys might go down 3-0. So I don't know, man.
I hear that. But me, this has always been my philosophy. Whoever the Eagles lose to in the playoffs, the Phillies lose to, the Flyers lose to, the Sixers lose to, I want to see them go on and win everything. I don't care if they're the New York Giants or the New York Mets. You know what I'm saying? I want them to win it all, so I feel better about them beating me.
Okay, that's interesting.
I don't want them to beat us in the first round and get waxed by someone
Then
like
we
the
lost to a
Dodgers.
real loser.
You know what I'm saying? Then I feel like even more of a loser.
Yeah, that's interesting logic there.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I mean, I don't know. The Yankees look pretty unstoppable right now.
yeah,
I think the Mets and the Dodgers series is a toss-up. If I had to go with the World Series winner, I'd probably pick the Yankees.
I think I'm with you too, Ollie. But you know,
Dude, but the Mets got that $356 million payroll.
I know.
I mean, Yankees
What-
are...
yeah, what are they,
Yankees
like,
right behind them,
225?
Dodgers
Dodgers,
right
Dodgers
behind them.
right behind them, too.
Yankees, Dodgers, Mets, and the Phillies are the top four.
Okay.
payrolls
There
in
you
the- in the
All
league.
over $300
and,
million.
and three of them are left in
Yeah,
the
there you
playoffs
go.
right now.
Wow.
Up next here is Pat from Ventura, California, living in
right,
Leominster,
out
Massachusetts. Love the podcast.
Wait, where is he living in Massachusetts?
Leominster.
All right. Next week, tell me if you're a Patriots fan or not, or if you're off the wagon.
Okay, yeah, with Drake May, we'll see. Hack question. This past Tuesday, October 8th, saw AEW's Dynamite's viewership count go to the company's lowest viewership ever. People in the business with podcasts, not saying names, keep going on that Tony Khan and AEW are a steadily sinking ship like WCW was. My question for Hack is, if he was given the position as being Tony Khan's right-hand man for a day, what would Hack do to try and boost ratings and pay-per-view subscriptions? And what would Hack advise Tony Khan to do in general? I personally don't want to see AEW go under, don't want to see the talent lose their jobs. Thanks, guys. Keep the fire coming.
Since Tony Khan or his dad, or I don't know, or they both named the same name, this is what if I was your right-hand man, I would tell you, offer Paul Heyman $57 million a year to take over your company. That's it.
Okay, there's his advice.
Dude, you cannot go. You get Paul Heyman, and it doesn't matter what his price is. It just doesn't matter. You will become you will be going head-to-head against WWE in a year or so.
Okay, that's Hack's answer
That's how
there.
good Paul is.
I would agree with that.
That's Hack's answer there. Writing in is Johnny from San Antonio.
Johnny!
Johnny!
What up, Johnny? What's up, fellas? I hope Hack was able to get all of the water out of the couch. Looked like a bit of water made its way in while Hack was enjoying himself a cold one. He's talking about the picture we put up on Twitter. Some guy tweeted from the hurricane. Somebody had a picture that looked like you. It's sitting in there.
It was a guy. Somebody thought it was you.
Yes, it looked like you. I got to send you this picture if you didn't see
So
it.
the dude's like
That's a
literally
video.
in the hurricane.
he's sitting in his
on his
recliner.
recliner, and there's like 3 feet of water in his house. And he's chilling there with a beer.
And the dude goes, I legit thought this was Hack.
Yeah, it was very funny. It was very, very funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
It was me.
My question for Hack this week goes as follows. While he's alluded to multiple times, we all know now about the escapades of '99 with Ray, Conan, and the other luchadors, and everyone by now should know about the partying that was required to be an ECW star. But who was Hack rolling with in his WWE run, and what were the party favors like during that run? As always, this is my favorite listen of the week. I look forward to new episode Mondays.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you,
Nah,
man.
dude, there was none because you got to understand, I hit it pretty hard from like 95 to like 2005, like really hard, 4 or 5 oxys a day, an 8-ball of Coke, and who knows, and a bottle of vodka a day. But by the time I got to Vince, like later on, I don't know about the 2005, 2006, or whatever the year that was, but by 2008 when I was there, when the big show, when Van Dam and Sabu got caught smoking pot and stuff like that, I was taking somas and drinking and smoking pot back then. That was it.
Okay, but like, were you going out partying with any of the boys?
No, there wasn't. No,
It just wasn't that
because I didn't want to be around any of them.
You didn't like it, yeah.
No, the only person that I became friends with that I wasn't friends with before I went to there was Test. Test was super cool.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. Tom.
I think I had a phone call with you and Cena in a hot tub with some divas or something like that. From somewhere.
Oh, well, no, we were wrong. No, that was the Conan days. No,
No, Cena.
no.
You guys
Oh
really
no, that was in Africa.
Yeah,
That was the week I got fired. The weekend after that, I did.
Makes sense.
Wait a minute.
I got fired.
Yeah,
Dude,
what's this
I got
story?
fired the weekend, so we went on an Africa trip. All right, here we go. So
I thought I'd trigger something.
You gotta understand something.
I wanted, yeah, you gotta understand something here.
When you're about to get fired.
All right, so we're going to Africa. I forget where we were, but we got our own bus, and then we got our own plane, and then we're flying from let's say Cleveland, whatever the hell it was. It was a short, like maybe an hour flight, and we were going to Newark, and then the next day we were taking a Newark to Johannesburg, Africa, 16-hour flight. So, the way the bus was set up, I don't even think I worked that night. So I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? It's my first,
So you're in Johannesburg?
No, not yet.
Oh, not
no,
yet.
we
Okay.
haven't even left yet. So this is where it all started. So the night before we leave, as everybody's getting on the bus, I had nothing to do. So I'm like, you know what? I got a taxi because it was Uber. Even if there was Uber, I wouldn't know how to use it anyway. So I got an actual taxi. And I had the taxi take me to a liquor store. So I got I had a bottle of vodka, a bottle of tennis, a bottle of what's Jack Daniels? What is that? Bourbon,
Tennessee
whiskey,
whiskey.
whatever.
Tennessee
And then what's the other stuff that the Dano stuff?
Tequila.
Yeah. So I got those three. I bought a cooler, had it set up with ice. I got mixers for all of them. So when everybody was walking onto the bus, I was sitting there right against the wall, and it was a great spot for the bus too because there couldn't be any cameras on me. And everybody that came onto the bus that was going on the tour, I had made them a cocktail. And everybody, they thought that was the coolest thing ever. I got over huge for that. So then we go. So then we go to New York, and then we go to freaking. So we're that night. So we land in Newark, and John Cena is sitting in the seat behind me. All right, who's the Jimmy? Not Snuka. Who's the other Jimmy? Great worker, the Dragon.
Steamboat?
Yeah. He's the head guy.
Ricky Steamboat?
Ricky, yeah.
Ricky and the ticket.
Yeah. So Ricky's this is his first time being the head agent on a tour. So we're going to Africa. So he's sitting on the first row on the left because there's enough rows for just one person. I'm sitting in the second row on the right. John Cena's sitting in the third row right behind me. So we get up when the plane lands on the tarmac because it was so late at night. You know what I mean? They had the steps down for us. I got a cigarette in my hand waiting to light it as we get off the freaking plane. So I got the cigarette in my hand. Don't even have a lighter in my other hand. Freaking Ricky Steamboat starts yelling at me. Damn it, Sandman, don't you dare light this cigarette on this plane. I'm like, dude, I don't have a lighter in my hand. And he just said something else. I'm like, listen, motherfucker. I'm like, dude, I ain't your kid. And John's like, yo, because he knew me as Hack. He goes, yo, Hack, let it go. Just let it go. I'm like, no, fuck this dude. I don't even have, dude. And I'm yelling this. I'm like, I don't even have a lighter in my hand. And this guy's accusing me. Dude, does he really think I'm going to light a fucking cigarette on this plane? That's how hot I am. So, at the plane, we go to Africa, and then, oh my God, the first night, the second night, blah.
What? You just partied so hard that they fired you the next week?
Oh, no, I was fired
You just told
because
all
of
that
that.
to say
cigarette
Before
with Steamboat.
anything else that even happened.
Cigarette with Steamboat.
Yeah, Johnny told
What
me.
happened when you went to Africa?
Oh, dude. Oh, man.
You can't tell the lead up to that.
I forget who it was. Me, Cena, a couple of the whoever the top girls were there. We went to a strip club. It was debauchery on my end. Not on any of that. I ain't stooging anybody else. I was the only one doing the debauchery. Nobody else was doing it but me. And then I guess that gets back to the office. So the next day, I'm on a bus ride, and we're taking a bus ride to the building. There's at least 3 guys sleeping on this bus ride because it's like an hour and a half. And there's at least 3 guys sleeping on the bus ride, and Snuka, or who the hell?
Steamboat.
Yeah.
Ricky
and
Steamboat.
And then Steamboat goes to me, he goes, Sandman, you don't look like you're ready to wrestle tonight. We're going to take you off the show.
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, hey, he goes, because I just caught you sleeping. I'm like, look, Carlito's sleeping right there. I woke Carlito up. I was yelling. So then it was done from there.
Oh, you got too much heat with Ricky Steamboat. You burned you.
Yeah.
God damn it, Ricky Steamboat. It's because of you we never got Hacksaw and Hack as tag team champions.
In fucking Africa.
Yeah, in Africa. God damn it, Ricky
Oh,
Steamboat.
and this tour paid like shit, too. Dude, I went to... Dude,
That's what it was.
You're
There
mad
you
about the
go.
pay
because it's
15 years later. That's the best part.
No, because I'm expected to make like 20 G's on this tour, because it was a whole week long, and but I only made $7,000 for it. I went to Mexico for a 4-day tour like the month before and made double that money.
Wow.
And it was because they were paid shows there, some was different, but I figured I was going to get a lot of money. Why the hell would I be going to South Africa?
Great question. Great story, Hack. That was amazing.
What happens in Africa
just got-
stays in Africa.
Yeah, there
Unless
you
you're
go.
Ricky Steamboat, baby.
Yeah. And nice of you not to incriminate John Cena, big movie star John Cena. Last question of the day. We got so many questions. We'll have to get to some next week, too. Is the professor, Dr. Doug, writing in from Orangeburg, South Carolina.
Let's hear it, doggy.
And he also put down home of Shelton Benjamin as well. Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
5-5, Cleveland just tied in the bottom of the ninth.
There you go, Ryan.
Wow.
There you
There
go,
you go,
Ryan.
Ryan.
All right. To the motley crew of the SS Sandman.
All right, I like that.
First off, thanks so much for the plug last week, Hack. If anything, I'm impressed by your buffet style of knowledge. You know something about everything, so I appreciate the compliment. Without getting into some long-winded, boring thing, Hack, you're definitely not wrong. The French did control a lot of North Africa, Morocco, Egypt, Algeria, and they had some other strongholds too. The one that probably affected America the most was French Indochina, Vietnam, for obvious reasons.
great point.
But typically, all those countries lost control of the lands when the natives rebelled and it wasn't profitable anymore.
Well, with the French, you're spread out so far. You know what I'm saying? And that's you can't spread yourself out so far.
One interesting wrestling sidebar, though, in 1977, Gene Kiniski and
But
Muhammad...
Doug, sorry, what were they doing in French Indonesia, China? Was that like the Silk Road or something like that? Why did they take that over? What were they getting out of that country? What kind of like exports?
There you go. Get back with us next week about that, Doug. One interesting wrestling sidebar, though, in 1977, Gene Kiniski and Muhammad Ali did a radio show together in Canada, where Kiniski, either a racist or playing one very well, talked about going to Africa and teaching the Mau Maus how to fight dirty. The Mau Maus were a native tribe in Kenya who tried to rebel against their English colonizers in the early 50s and were completely decimated. I think like 100,000 or so died. At any rate, to end this painful lecture for you all, Hack's not far off in saying that England was akin to Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage as the mega powers of colonial undertakings. I'll save more for next time, but leave you with an interesting fact so Hack can either have a good conversation
Nice.
piece or a possible move to use in his next match. Obviously, colonizing was done by countries with a solid native fleets of ships. Sailors were known to be pretty grungy dudes, and they were rife with STDs.
I would have been a great sailor.
The term we use today for gonorrhea, the clap, came from how sailors cured it, laying one's member on a flat surface while another sailor swung a boat paddle full force onto it, causing the discharge infection to come out. The sound it made was a clap, hence the nickname. You can abridge this.
Dude, that's freaking great. I love that story.
Sounds like my Friday night, all right?
You can abridge this email however you want. If you choose to read it, I won't be offended if you don't, but I definitely don't want to ignore my calling as the official historian of this prestigious podcast. Your pal, the Professor Doug. Doug,
Thank you,
Fantastic,
Doug.
All right, last thing, Doug. You didn't represent what did I say? Was the Armenians the ones that, just like the Jews were persecuted by Hitler? Was it the Armenians that were being persecuted by Turkey?
Yes.
Which the Ottoman Empire, which a lot of people don't realize how huge actually was back in the day.
all right, guys. As always.
Oh, wait a minute. How many more questions do we have?
Oh, that's.
No,
I mean,
that's
we got a bunch more. I mean,
How many more?
I mean, we're gonna wrap it right there. We'll go next week
Yeah,
with the
we
rest of
got
the
another
questions.
one.
I'm
Little
sorry,
did I
guys.
know. I've
I
been
know.
clapping
Whatever.
for
Do
years.
we need a whole show with just answering questions at some point?
We'll do a whole question show then. Sure, we'll do that for a show one week. But we got a lot of questions, guys. Keep sending them in. And I promise you, we will get them asked on the air. SandmanPod@gmail.com.
Good job this week, boys.
Everybody, guys, you seriously, the question segment. It's everybody's favorite segment of the week. Keep sending them.
AEW was the worst part of the whole freaking show.
Listen, we got Africa, we got Ricky the Steamboat, we got
Fuck you, Ricky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck Ricky Steamboat.
We gonna clap back. We gonna
Guys,
clap back.
next week you got to be sure. You got to understand this is a big show. This is a big show we got coming for you next week. We'll be down there at Suplex Vintage Wrestling. But before we go, Hack, the cane of the week or the toast of the week?
All right, you guys are going to love this one.
Oh, here we go.
All right, my toast of the week is going to the Penn State kicker that won the game, but it's not for winning the game. It's for being smart enough to go have a GoFundMe that he has right now that's kicking ass because he's a walk-on.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so he's a walk-on. He ain't making that. I can't believe you two didn't hear about this on
I
the
didn't hear
radio
about this
today.
either.
Yeah, so people are giving him heat because he started a GoFundMe. And what did he make? A
Like for
35-yarder?
himself?
Yeah. Or a 37-yarder. We got to look that up how much it is. But, dude, you have to take advantage of what's given to you. And this kid might not ever be more over. He can't make he makes a 40-yarder. That's it. They're not going to use him for anything more. You know what I'm saying? And he's a walk-on because last 2 years Penn State has gotten great kickers, but they've gotten hurt or they sucked. The one that they had this year was supposed to be great, and the dude couldn't make a kick. So that's why this kid walked on.
You should have started a GoFundMe after Africa.
All right, guys.
Whoa! Cane of the
Cane of the
week.
week.
I'm sorry, cane of the
Nick
week.
Sirianni, dude.
Yeah, let's get you, Nick.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, right on your new shaved head. All right, guys. Like, share, review, and catch us next week for a big special show we got for you.
Peace.
Ain't it foggy outside? All the planes